Ah. Ew, that is disgusting.
You're one to talk, pal.
Why? What did I do?
You've done that before.
Not like that. Yeah, well, that was a race.
That was a race.
That was a race that you didn't know you were in, all right?
That's true.
That was a surprise.
It's a lot of races I don't know I'm in. That sounds way funnier than I meant it. I don't know. The rat race? I don't know.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
What the fuck? Welcome to WeNeedWrestling.
Hey, the year's over, almost.
I was very excited to tell all our listeners that I'm sipping on a wonderful lingonberry drink from IKEA today that I got. And I got distracted by that.
I have a cherry limeade ghost in one hand and a dingleberry drink or whatever the fuck it is in the other. So,
well, it's lingonberry, but I called yours a dingleberry because I added a little extra.
Oh, good. You shit in my drink.
Well, I didn't shit in the drink. There's
shitty residue in my drink.
Right.
Good.
Right. It's like half shitty residue, half like fabric from my underwear.
Great. Ew, what? The fuck is wrong with you?
They're silk. They're black silk underwears.
You wear silk underwear?
Just like Jean-Claude Van Damme
do you shake your butt like he does in them too?
I do.
No, good.
That's not true. I don't wear silk underwears.
You just don't wear underwear.
Right, because I don't wear underwear, right.
Yeah.
The hog can't be contained. That's just what it is.
Yeah? That's what we're going to... Okay.
It's not true.
Michelle.
Not the size of the dog and the fighting the dog. It's the size... I don't know. Whatever. Not the size of the hog and the fight. It's the size of the fight and the hog, brother.
I'll drink the dingleberry juice to that. All right.
Welcome to WeNeedWrestling. As Brett said, I'm DJ. That's Brett. It is the end of the year.
Almost.
As we know it.
It's oh man, it's so awkward because I know that there's going to be a match on Saturday that I feel it's going to just blow up in our face.
Right. There's definitely going to be some sort of amendment to our lists that we're going to be doing towards the end of the show.
Yes.
We're going to run through what we normally run through because I know you loyal and gentle listeners cannot fathom going a week without our commentary on the week's wrestling.
Sure.
So we're not going to deprive anybody of that. A little shortened, a little I don't know, compacted, compressed version of the regular show. 3 hours later. Right. Well, the first half. I'm not saying this isn't going to be 3 hours, but you know, the regular show, maybe an hour. And then, if you were here last week, or if you were online or on the Discord or on the social media, we then have the list of things: top 5, top 3, top 1, top 6, top 2, whatever.
I don't know why I did so many random numbers.
I don't know. I like it.
Yeah.
And then I spent all week thinking like, oh, we should have done this and this and this and this and this. So
you should have told me.
Well, it was like, nah, I don't want to mess with it. It's a nice little compact thing. If we get 20 fucking questions, then we're here all goddamn night. So I sort of just I put a little bit of a bend in some cases on some of the categories.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I have so many. I have some fun ones. I'm excited.
All right.
But yes, that's gonna be the back half of the show, right?
It is. Yeah.
We're gonna do everything, and then we'll get to that. So if you want to, if you only want to hear our top lists of the year, just fast forward a bunch until we stop talking shenanigans.
Sure.
I'm gonna guess here. I'm gonna say fast forward to the 1 hour 23 minutes and
I think you're overestimating.
40-second.
I think you're overestimating it.
That's what I'm saying. Fast forward to that mark. Okay. That's when the top end of the year list starts happening.
I have a feeling it's going to be sooner, but that's all right.
We'll see what happens. Did you ever?
Don't you try to stall.
Did you?
Don't you fucking dare.
It just reminded me of a really shitty joke that I remember from my childhood. My
childhood?
Yeah, my childhood was a shitty joke. But asking what a Sooner was because of the college football team.
The Oklahoma Sooners?
Yeah. Do you know what a Sooner is? Do anybody know what a Sooner actually is?
Boomer Sooner.
Because I was told by my shitty stepdad when I was a kid that a Sooner is a dog that would sooner shit on your floor than shit outside.
That's a shitty joke.
It is. Both literally and figuratively. And you said
boo
Sooner.
Me, boo.
Don't boo me. Boo my shitty stepdad that I haven't seen in 20 years.
Boo shitty stepdad you haven't seen in 20 years. Boo.
Way to go, Dan.
I can't say, no, I was going to say Dan's a shitty name, but it's not.
Okay.
Dan Champion, Dan Connor.
Oh, well. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Dan Marley.
Yeah, he also had
Thunder Dan.
Thunder Dan. He also had the doorbell at the house would play the entire Penn State fight song every time he pressed it.
As a Penn State fan, I hate that.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that so much.
It's terrible. We had a bird.
They play in the Peach Bowl on Saturday.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
They're in the Peach Bowl.
Where's that? That's in Georgia, right? I marched in the Peach Bowl.
Georgia?
I played the halftime show at Peach Bowl 23. No.
Who played?
I have no fucking idea, but I was there at it.
My sister,
Freshman or sophomore year.
My sister was a cheerleader.
Yeah.
And her cheerleading squad won a competition.
Yeah.
They cheered at pregame of the Citrus Bowl one year.
Okay.
It was Tennessee versus Michigan.
Yeah. I remember that. When I was in the marching band, it wasn't just us. They invited a shit ton of bands from all over to like fill the field. But we took a bus down to Georgia and did the Peach Bowl.
Yeah.
So there you go. Anyway, in the 90s, back in the late 1900s.
Yes.
Anyway, about the shitty doorbell, and I'm not stalling. This is very important for our listeners. We had a bird. We had a pet bird. And that.
What was the bird's name? Was it Nittany?
No.
Should have been.
No, it was. Fuck, I don't remember.
All right, not important.
Anyway, not important. And the doorbell got pressed so much because my stepdad was a jerk and liked hearing the song that the bird learned the song.
Oh.
So then it happened all the time.
How do you not hate Penn State now?
Somehow, so my brain's trauma response is to erase bad things. It's how I survived. I
was gonna say one name, Kerry Collins.
That's right, Kerry Collins, all the way. Kerry Collins, three things: Kerry Collins, Kajana Carter, and
Kyle Brady.
Kyle Brady, right?
There you go.
But Joe Juravicious,
LeVar Arrington,
Courtney Brown.
Hell yeah. When I was a kid, I had a Courtney Brown Cleveland Browns jersey.
Nice.
Boy, did he suck.
Yeah, Curtis
Enos. Yeah?
Yep.
Go Curtis Enos.
I went to high school with a dude who wore a Kurt Enos jersey to school one day, and when he wasn't paying attention to class, somebody taped a P to the back of it.
Curtis Penis.
Anyway.
God damn it.
I don't remember the Nanny fight song. It's erased from my brain.
I don't know. That might be the Notre Dame fight song.
Oh, shit.
I don't know.
Fighting words.
Listen, I took a couple semesters at Penn State. That was it.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah.
Wilkes-Barre?
Penn State Wilkes-Barre.
Nice.
Lehman campus,
That
brother.
counts.
I don't have a degree, but I have a lot of credits.
There it is.
Trust me, I think about going.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What was it in?
Business.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, the business, brother.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
In the biz,
brother. Let's get down to business.
Yeah.
Brass tacks, if you will.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk about the regular show. How are you, pal? Let's get that out of the way.
I'm good. Christmas was dope.
Oh yeah, how was your Christmas? I forgot the Christmas was like 4 days.
Yeah,
three
my
days
nephew's
ago.
got a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I got too much shit. Between like 5 kids, well, we'll say 4 because Nico was only 2.
Yeah, right.
I was told that the grand total expenditure was about $6,000.
Jesus Christ.
Yep. Born in the wrong family.
You know how many months of my bills that would pay?
They got another PS.
That's more than $1,000 a kid.
They got another PS5.
Another one.
Yeah.
So they're not fighting over it anymore?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so they got another one.
Yeah.
A bunch of Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Which I'm kind of like, oh shit, now that's easy for me to buy for
Right,
them.
Absolutely. Make them regret that decition.
You know, a bunch of...
Do they want to buy me a PS5?
I said the same thing.
Can they adopt me?
I will say, I got 2 presents.
Okay.
I got a Dunkin' Donuts gift card.
Okay.
And I
for
got...
$500.
Yes, for a $500 Dunkin' Donuts gift card. And I got a 1 of 25 PSA graded Gem Mint 10 Jalen Hurts card.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Nice.
I'm not a card guy.
Gem Mint 10, that's rad.
Yeah, there's only 2 graded of this card in existence.
Is it like a rookie card?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's only 2 graded of this card in existence.
Nice. That's cool. You can look that up.
And it's 1 out of 25.
Nice.
So
that's awesome. And the 2 are graded 10?
No, mine's the 10.
Ah, look at you. Top of the fucking world,
yeah,
brother.
you know, not a big fucking deal.
That's cool. That's actually a really thoughtful gift.
Like, it's awesome.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Because he does all the shit
Is
with
he
the
going to
cards.
make you a card guy now?
No.
Okay.
I can't
It's
do
probably
that.
for the better.
I'm already becoming a comic guy.
That's true.
Hey, update, everybody. I finished Preacher.
You did.
And I fucking loved it.
Yes.
It is so goddamn good.
Good.
And I got sad when I ended reading it. You ever get that feeling when you're done reading like a series? You get
for sure.
A little bummed?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got so sad, but then work was slow because I was like, okay, I finished it. What was it? Tuesday I finished it, I think. And I was like, okay, I'm going to give myself like a break before I read Watchmen. But then work was really slow, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to start reading Watchmen. So I'm 4 chapters into Watchmen currently. So
good.
Preacher kicked so much ass.
It's very good, yes.
I loved it so much. I watched the trailer for the TV show. I don't think I'm going to like it.
No.
I'm going to watch. I don't know when I'm going to watch, but I will watch.
We'll coordinate. We'll figure this out.
We should watch. The problem is it's not streaming anywhere. You have to buy it.
Oh, really? It's not streaming anywhere?
No. You have to buy it on you can buy it through Apple. Yeah.
I like that less.
Yeah.
If anybody can happen to out there in the world happen to have Preacher television, by legal means, I assure you.
Yes, please send it our way because
help a brother out.
I would like to watch.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I'm going to like it, though.
Right, that's the thing. Might break your heart a little bit.
Yeah. How are you, man?
I'm good, buddy. Christmas was good. Low key, we don't do much for Christmas, you know. Michelle and I got ourselves the Switch a couple weeks back, so that was our Christmas present to each other. My mother-in-law got me ball powder, and so that was nice. And I'm just gonna leave. I'm not gonna explain anything.
Nope.
And I got a bottle of mead from my sister-in-law. Big Trouble in Little Nipa.
Okay.
Mead. It's got the Big Trouble in Little China stuff on it, which was very nice.
That's very nice.
And I think that's pretty much it.
What'd your mom get you?
Oh, I didn't tell you about this, right?
No, because you had to open the package.
Yeah, so my mom, it is what it is. So she sent us things and said, make sure I'm on the phone with you. I should show, they're already packed away. I should have saved them to show you what she did. But so she's like, I have to be on the phone when you open them. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, am I written out of her will? Merry Christmas. I'm no longer involved. And I was like, whatever. No, she gave us a card with $100 in it because she still thinks I'm 17. But she doesn't want to buy me things because she's like, go have an experience. So
get a tattoo. That's an experience.
She would flip her fuck. She'd say, I'll give you money, but I'd never want to spend on a tattoo anyway.
Fuck it. Your money now.
And she got us 2 little wooden Christmas ornaments that were like you see like the burn art where like they draw stuff and it's like burned into the wood. Like Mikey got the thing of Ruby. She got us a Ruby and a Bugsy ornament. It's a portrait of Ruby and Bugsy.
That's very nice.
It's like the most thoughtful thing she's ever fucking
very
done.
Nice. Cool.
It's really remarkable.
That's cool. Good.
You know, she's been across the country for 20 years, and this is the first time she hasn't been like, here's just anything off the top thing off your Amazon wish list because I don't want to try.
Nice. Well, that's very nice.
It was very thoughtful. It was very nice. Very sweet. They were well done. And they're packed away because we're making room. We got to make room at the
Saturday,
house.
baby.
For Saturday, World's End.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a full fucking house.
I'm so excited.
We got boys traveling.
Yeah, go traveling boys.
Traveling from all over, ups and downs,
North,
ins and outs.
South, it's all good.
Right.
It's going to be a party.
Right.
Oh, I can't wait.
So I got to make room because with Christmas shit out, I'm not going to be able to fit everybody.
No.
So the tree's coming down. Chairs are getting, assigned. That's not true.
Can't wait.
Just the one. But bring your pants, boys, because we're watching wrestling.
Or don't bring your pants.
Although Tim did hurt my feelings this week. So,
sure did. He always hurts your feelings.
Right before he's about to come here, he thinks he can cock off. Like, I'm not going to be fucking upset about it.
Yeah.
So it'll be real nice to see Marcus on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Timsy just cocking off. Like,
I'm very excited to see.
There's no fucking consequences. He's just cocking off.
I don't know, man.
So unbelievable.
I hope he wears a CM Punk shirt.
I listened this week while I was driving around. I've been off work all week, so I haven't been listening to podcasts, but I did listen to Final Wrestling Place, their year-end wrap-up.
Yeah, best year ever.
I didn't comment on it because some of the stuff might overlap with what I'm going to talk about.
Sure.
When Tim's asked for comments, but
well, you kind of have a category on their show now.
I do, kind of.
Yeah.
God
the Mr. Pig Wrestler of the Week.
God bless Billy Gunn.
Yeah.
Is that on? That's on. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I
just very briefly.
Yeah.
What the hell was I going to say?
You're complimenting them.
Yeah, I was, but I listened this week because I was driving around. The only podcast I listened to in like a week and a half. But I don't remember where I was going with it.
All right. Well,
but
if you find it, we'll come back to it.
We'll come back to it.
If you don't, it's gone forever.
Right. Gone forever.
You know, it's not gone forever.
My hatred for Tim.
Wow.
It's not hatred. That's harsh.
Your love trade.
He's just my love trade.
Yes, your love trade.
He just likes cocking off.
Your lifestyle determines your death style.
He likes cocking off. I don't understand what I did to him. You know, like I'm not cool enough to get fucking text messages, and now
start with that, you motherfucker. I offered to fill you in.
Now fill me in. Oh, that's what it is. Thank you for saying that,
Phil.
Yeah, it's about Phil.
Phil.
I was shocked that the both of them are members of the Chicago Philharmonic,
brother. Fighting Phils.
Yeah, the Fighting Phils, the Felicia, the Chicago Philharmonic.
Let's go. My philanthropist.
Right, your philanthropist, your philanderers, your felicities. Yeah.
Card carrying. I was certified.
I was shocked that because I thought that Timsy was still up on the roller coaster. But I guess he is. But but the roller coaster is the number 2 ride at the park now, right?
Yeah.
Now it's
Phil.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Where's there? What amusement park ride starts with Phil?
I don't know. Listen, we sit at the throne, all right?
Something.
We are the 3 wise men of Phil.
Jesus Christ. The throne is just a toilet. But I was shocked that there was so much philandering on Final Wrestling Place this week.
Well, I hope you didn't get your fill on that show because we have stuff to talk about tonight.
Believe me, I got my fill.
No,
I got my fill.
Be prepared. You're gonna get some more.
I'm very interested about that because Phil's on one of my lists, one of my rankings.
All right.
But I've anticipated questions why he's not on more than one.
All right.
And I have an answer.
All right. Well, let's get
into it. Yes.
All right. So real quick,
some philandering.
Some news. This past Saturday, we had a little soon-to-be-named Network Boys Night Out. Myself, and Joe.
Yeah.
We all went and saw the Iron Claw.
And we all ate Japanese food.
Yes, we certainly did. God, that sushi was so good.
It was good.
We all went and saw
Wasn't it, Joe?
We all went and saw the Iron Claw.
Yes.
Officially in theaters. Listen, I do like how it's been described by a lot of people as...
sad? Oh.
Well, other than that, it's not a wrestling movie per se.
Mm-mm.
It is wrestling as the backdrop.
Yeah. I was talking to people at the comic shop when I was up there this week, and they were talking about going to see it.
Yes, I heard you gave your review to Todd.
Did I?
Yes. Todd mentioned it.
Good. But I said, like, there's wrestling in it, but it's not a wrestling movie.
Yeah.
It's about a family that happens to be wrestlers. Wrestling, the business, may be responsible partially for the things that happen to them.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't need to know a lick of wrestling to watch that movie.
No.
So...
I loved it. I really did. I love the Von Erichs.
Yeah.
For just... and somebody brought this up on Twitter. I don't think they necessarily captured how fucking crazy the fans were for the Von Erichs.
No. Yeah.
Like, they talked about it, but, like, when you go back, and because this week I watched Triumph of Tragedy, World Class, I had to go back and watch it. Because there's more to that than just the Von Erichs.
Yeah,
that's
true.
There's the Freebirds.
Yeah, that's true.
Gino Hernandez, which, again, sad as fuck. Chris Adams, Iceman Parsons, Missing Link, Kamala, know. And I like seeing, like, they had international distribution, which was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So I was just in the mood to watch some of that stuff. To see, like, man, they really were setting the bar.
Yeah, the royalty.
You know?
Right.
But like, they would show the clips of them coming to the ring and girls just, like, falling at their feet and jumping on them and trying to kiss them. And Kevin saying, you know, we'd have to walk with our lips kind of closer. They're not kissing us on our lips and stuff. And that was crazy. And that's one thing I don't think the movie exactly got, like, how crazy it was.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it, man. Definitely probably in my top 5 of movies I've seen this year.
Yeah.
You know, again, you know the story.
Right.
You know, it's just tragedy after tragedy after tragedy.
There's so much tragedy. Like, the director was like, they eliminated a whole brother. It's not a spoiler.
No.
Chris is gone. Because the director said, like, it became almost unbelievably sad. It was almost asking too much of the audience to have that. It became almost cartoony, but it's real. Yeah. But, like, it was just too much. And I saw some people sort of taking the piss out of it for not, like, sort of like Chris deserves to have his story told too. And I get that argument.
I see both sides.
But it already is over 2 hours, and you got to make tough decisions sometimes.
Yeah.
And, you know, I don't know what you would cut story-wise to fit that extra story without making the movie another 20 minutes longer. Though the only thing I would cut out of that movie, which you can't, is that shitty Ric Flair.
Yeah, that was bad.
I'm still thinking about that fucking Ric Flair. But yeah, it was really good. I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think the dad, the guy who plays Fritz, whose name I forget.
It was like Holt
McKinley or something. Yeah, McCallany, something like that. I think he's going to get Oscar-nominated.
He should.
Possibly win it, depending on what he's up against in a supporting role.
Yeah.
I don't know about anybody else. Everybody's very good in it. But he locked down Fritz. Like, just that sort of... The guy who never achieved what he thought he could, and everybody else was to blame for it. So I liked it a lot. It was a lot of fun. It was good. It was a fun night out.
Yeah, I would definitely suggest going to see it.
Yeah.
Prepare yourself, obviously.
Do the try not to cry at the Von Erichs challenge.
Yeah, there you go. You know, try not to.
Yeah,
because it's tough, man. They got enough of the stuff historically accurate that I was okay with it.
Yeah.
You know, like the little line, like against the Freebirds. You know, this is about decency versus filth. I love that line. Like, that's such a good line.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely go see it.
Yeah.
I recommend it for sure.
Yep.
You know, just be prepared.
So here's an interesting question that I was trying to think about, and I could have watched and I didn't. I obviously I know the story. Obviously I know the wrestlers, and I've seen enough stuff. But like on an actual like not over sort of thing, but like it's a bit of a blind spot. It's not the stuff that I go back to a lot, and obviously I know Kerry better than any of them because he had the more wider exposure.
Of course,
but also their popularity is before I'm born until when I'm very young.
Yeah,
they're all dead before I'm 10. Were they good? Like, were the Von Erichs really good?
So here's,
you know what I mean? Like,
here's kind of where it went. David was the best. In ring psychology. They said he no doubt would have been world champion.
Yeah, and he dies. Well,
yeah.
You know the story. Not a spoiler.
Kevin, they said, was probably the most athletic.
That's the one I'm the most interested in because Kevin, good-looking guy, popular. But I'm not sure Kevin was a very good wrestler.
Yeah, they say Kevin was most athletic, and Gary Hart says when you were in a match with Kevin, you're getting hit for real.
Yeah.
Like he said, boy, did he work snug. And he said, like, he's fighting for his life out there, and he's cracking you for real.
Yeah. Okay.
Kerry was the one with the it factor.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, he just had it. Great look. Just had it all.
Yeah.
Obviously, then Michael, was too small. Chris, too small.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the top three and the three that really get covered in the movie.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
That's
I've never really seen a ton of David and Kevin.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, you go back and watch some of that Freebird shit.
Well, and that's what I've seen is the Freebird stuff, and they're super over.
Yeah,
and like everybody is super over and red hot. But like I've seen way more Terry Gordy matches than I've seen Von Erich.
Sure.
So it's sort of like how much is it them being over and how much is it them actually being good in the ring? It's just an interesting thing that I've been thinking about because I really don't have a ton of exposure.
Yeah, and that kind of
I don't even know how if I was to look on YouTube how much stuff there actually would be comparatively.
There's a ton of stuff.
to sort of the other stars of that era.
Yeah, there's actually a ton of. You search WCCW, tons of stuff is out there.
They're operating like the Von Erich boys are trying to fight to keep that territory alive with their dad, while Vince is running nationally. Like they're tried.
Now they talk about because I watched its Triumph and Tragedy, and then I was watching a little bit of the Heroes of World Class, and they talked about they were popping higher ratings in New York than Vince was.
That's crazy.
That like Saturday nights they were running 10 to midnight. And they were popping like 14 ratings.
Yeah, wow.
That's insane.
Yeah, good.
Like out doing Saturday Night Live, crazy shit.
Okay. All right, well, go see the movie.
Yeah, please.
I liked it a lot. Really good.
Also,
it's doing well, I think, so.
Yeah, also got announced this week. New Japan Pro Wrestling has a new president. And it is the ace of the universe,
President
Hiroshi Tanahashi. Kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Got announced the day after Christmas, I believe. Or no, the press conference was the day after Christmas. So, Tim, I did my best. Do a little breakdown for you here, brother. So the previous president, Obari, talked about, he started in January 2019. Yep. Obviously had to deal with COVID, which was, didn't know if they were going to really make it. As most places were nervous about it, And he said that Tanahashi was the one he was his ear during everything. He's been his ear since he's been there.
Okay.
And they just decided in November it's time to move on. So Tanahashi, they talked about his loyalty to New Japan, how he helped him out of that dark time, how he's always been there, and New Japan's always his number one interest. He said that Tanahashi said he wants to sell out the Tokyo Dome.
Yep, I saw that.
Which that's
yeah.
That's I don't know.
And he said to get there he has to raise up all the other areas. Like he said the smaller areas need to start becoming sellouts so that when the Tokyo Dome comes around,
and that's exactly it. He wants to sell out the towns around Tokyo, and he wants more title matches outside of major cities. And he talks about in the 2000s when he worked without promotion and sales staff, the goal at first was to put 500 people in the buildings, then 1,000, and then on and so on and so forth. So he wants to do that. They asked him some questions. Like I said, in November he had dinner. And they just talked about okay, it's time. We want you to do it. He said yes. First wrestler to become president in 19 and a half years since Tatsumi Fujinami.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, they said that they selected him. He's a cheerful person. He actually has I believe, I don't want to say master. Maybe it's a master's in business. Okay. So he's no dummy.
He also has this picture with us.
That is true.
So that's a plus on a resume.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Really.
The president of New Japan liked my Taguchi shirt.
He should hold Taguchi. Tanahashi, officially the president of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Has there been really a clear explanation of what the president does? Like what his duties are going to be outside of just promotion and overall health of the company? Like
I think it's
just that sort of thing.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Make sure everything is, copacetic.
Right. Make sure the gears are turning and whatever.
I'm sure he has the power to change booking philosophies.
Sure, hopefully.
He
has the power to move you.
So Tanahashi.
It's really cool news.
I think it's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah, for sure.
And they already talked about January 4th in 2025 will be a Saturday.
Ooh.
Thank God.
I saw him say he's like, I've never won the IWGP world heavyweight, whatever he said. And I was like, bullshit. It's the new one, and I was like, he's held IWGP like 8 times.
He's still a wrestler, brother.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the new version. Tana, I love you.
Yeah. He also said
do not put that belt.
He wants to make all the boys angry with how hard he's fighting.
Oh, well, don't put that belt
good
on
for him.
Don't do it, please. Don't. No.
No.
I love Tana, but
don't do it. He's saying not to say that I can't do this after I retire, but being an active wrestler, I'm able to leverage into more promotion on TV, in print, online. I can take all these interviews and work all around the country.
Okay.
So, that's cool. You know, he wants to spread the word.
It's not a bad retirement plan. Not that he's ready to retire, but if he can hold that job and do good, we'll see.
Let's go Tanahashi.
Yeah, I'll always root for Tana.
And like I said, I hope he can get some of his friends some jobs in the front office. Maybe Ricky and Ricky and Robert. They need some jobs over in Japan.
Absolutely.
Tanahashi man.
President man. Book him to win the fucking tag league next year and spice that shit up.
I agree. And then last little thing I have here, All Japan teased I guess a challenger you can call
Challenger to the Triple Crown.
Yeah, whoever wins with Kento Miyahara and Katsuhiko Nakajima, which that match is on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Whoever wins is going to have to face this mystery opponent from NXT.
What a weird announcement.
And it turns out that the mystery opponent is going to be Charlie Dempsey. Which is William Regal's son.
Yes.
So, William Regal's son, who trained in the New Japan Dojo.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Okay.
Obviously is in NXT now.
Yeah.
Is going to be wrestling in All Japan.
To lose a Triple Crown match.
To January 3rd. So... cool.
I'll watch it.
Good opportunity.
I've never seen him wrestle, so
I don't think I have either. I think he's part of that catch point ripoff with Drew Gulak right now in NXT.
Okay.
But
doesn't Drew Gulak run the Catch Point show or training center?
Yeah, but there's a little stable though. It's not called Catch Point.
Oh yeah, okay.
So
he's ripping off himself.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
So yeah,
interesting.
I'll pay attention.
Yeah, I'll watch it. Why not? Especially if it's Nakajima.
Well,
see how much
hairy.
NXT likes it when your fucking boy is knocked out in 30 seconds.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
I think Regal will go over with him.
Probably.
Yeah. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Regal wrestled All Japan in the 90s.
Yes, he did. He put up a picture of him and Kenta Kobashi.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, that's all I have, sir.
All right. Let me Google Pro Wrestling News. Pro Wrestling News. A lot of this is just people's year-end stuff.
Yeah.
Which we're not going to go over. One thing I'm skipping because I may talk about it later. But there is a thing here. 2 things. One, apparently Goldberg tried to be a part of Sting's last match.
So I was pissed about Vince not giving him his retirement match.
He called Vince like a scumbag or something.
Sure.
But then said he tried to get into AEW for Sting's last match because Sting's the reason why he's wrestling.
Just stop.
Let me see the thing here. Let's see what Goldberg says. Steven Captain Evil. I'm just Steven Captain Evil. He wanted to be part of Sting's retirement match. Sting is the reason why I broke into the business. Sting set a great example. He's about to retire. Tried to be part of this retirement match. I would not have chosen to get into the world of professional wrestling if it wasn't for Sting. He was a normal dude who went out and did abnormal things. Wrestling is like being in a circus. It truly is. I never looked at it with much respect, but after I watched him from afar, I realized that I had the ability to go do it. He was not only a performer, he had self-respect, and he commanded respect. He's one of the best human beings on the planet, and he set an example for me, and I just tried to grab it and run with it and make him proud. I had the best time of my life in the ring with Sting. And so I don't know what happened, but I guess he was asking too much money or something, and who knows? I saw a lot of people sort of saying like they could have Goldberg, and instead they paid all this money for Sting or for Ric Flair. I don't know, whatever. I don't want to see Goldberg in AEW.
Nah, I'm all set.
Let's just take a deep breath and realize we don't want Goldberg in AEW.
All set over here.
We don't want Goldberg fucking anywhere.
Nope.
But the other thing here that caught my eye really quick, Bill Apter reveals his Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling tag teams.
Okay.
I don't remember Rushmore, and I haven't read this list yet, but I like seeing this. So I'm going to see, let's see, the best tag teams he's ever witnessed ever. Let's see. The original Fabulous Kangaroos. Okay.
Sure.
Road Warriors.
Of course.
Mr. Fuji and Professor Tanaka. Red Bastien and Louis Klein, also known as the Bastien brothers. Mark Lewin and Don Curtis. And he says he'll take out the Bastien brothers and put in Ole and Gene Anderson. That's boring. Thanks, Bill.
Yeah, thanks, Bill.
Thanks for dropping, I don't know, a name people fucking know.
Thanks, Bill. Thanks, Bill.
He does have a little thing here about Ric Flair and the Iron Claw. If I were the Nature Boy, I'd be very upset.
Yeah.
I'm not the Nature Boy, and I'm very upset.
It wasn't good.
All right. But I think that's it. I don't want to go through like a list of notable deaths.
No, I think we're good on that front.
Yeah, I think we're good. But yeah, I think that's about it. Well, it's all just year-end shit.
Yeah.
So we'll
all right.
We'll leave it at that.
Let's jump on in then.
That's it for news.
Yeah. So Rampage.
Yes.
This is going to be abbreviated this week.
Yeah, because I didn't watch Rampage.
Everything's
oh, yes, right.
Little
because trying to,
yeah.
You're going to try and abbreviate it, and I'm going to try and stretch it to the time that I said earlier in the show that I no longer remember. So
it's not going to happen.
So
we're already
shooting.
Yeah,
I'm shooting from the hip here, brother.
El Hijo del Vikingo.
Yes.
And Black Taurus.
Yes.
Do they
still call him El Hijo del Vikingo, or do they just call him Vikingo?
No, El Hijo del Vikingo. Don't. You're trying to stretch. Don't stretch.
I'm not trying to stretch. I don't remember the last time on AEW TV they called him They used his full
El Hijo del Vikingo.
Name. Yes.
All right. They had a match.
Is there a Vikingo Jr.?
Just on Ring of Honor last Friday.
I was going to keep trying. You're just going to keep steamrolling over me. All right.
So they had a match on Ring of Honor last Friday. Tony Khan said, "Hey, let's run this shit back for national TV."
Yes,
and it rocked, man. It was basically the same match.
Yeah,
Black Taurus is a motherfucking
handsome Black Taurus.
Did you see that picture I put in the TNM?
Well, I mean, you couldn't see his face. I'm assuming,
dude. He looks great.
Yeah, right.
Chicken and rice.
Chicken and rice, bro. It's back. It's back big time.
Guy.
It's back big time.
This match was awesome though.
You know what chicken and rice can't fix? Chris Jericho's upper body. Anyway.
That's a fact. Hey, let's get more Black Taurus and more Vikingo on AEW.
Yes.
There's already a ton of Vikingo on AEW, but
yeah.
Let's make it permanent.
Taurus is cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Collision.
That was quick.
Yes. We have some.
I did watch Collision.
So this was the final night of the Blue League.
We're winding down the C2 over these two shows. So it's super important, super amped up to watch these. Like, to me, some of the most like appointment viewing television that AEW's ever done. And I've watched both of them on delay because I was doing other shit.
Yeah.
But like, I could not wait because we were watching Iron Claw.
Yeah.
Could not wait to watch these matches.
Yeah. Claudio Castagnoli, Bryan Danielson.
Yes.
This goes the full 20.
Sure does.
Only draw of the tournament.
Yes.
About awesome.
I'd say 10 minutes or so in, I was like, this is paced like a draw.
Yeah.
And it should be. If there's going to be one, this is the one.
Yep. Stablemates, no one's better than the other one.
Right.
But, dude, it was so good.
It was so good. When Claudio catches Dragon, Dragon goes to drop kick and he catches him in the big swing. It was my favorite thing in the match. Really great. I mean, of course it was going to be. These guys know each other. They have a history. And they're stablemates. So yeah, like you said, they're not gonna want to place one above the other. They're gonna do this the right way. The only one that I think Mox would probably beat either one of them.
Well, yeah,
but you know,
I love this match.
Yeah, it's great.
They have great chemistry together.
Yeah,
absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up here because I did delete it out of my notes, but then we brought it up a little bit. Billy Gunn,
buddy, my wrestler of the week, hands down.
Just tossing these little boys.
If the C2 wasn't a thing, this is my match of the week, hands down. I messaged people, I texted people, I'm still laughing my ass off. Billy Gunn did not want, and like, not that Billy Gunn was like, that don't work for me, brother, but Billy Gunn was like, it's not believable you guys can knock me over, so I'm not going to fall down. Anything I do is going to be a knee before I roll to the ground. I'm going to do a fucking suicide dive where I land on my feet, because fuck you guys. I'm going to take a suicide dive where I just go to a knee, I don't think Billy Gunn's doing suicide dives in 2023. like wrestling children. It looked like you're trying to wrestle a family member, and like they're just tossing you on the couch, and you get back up giggling. You run at him again, and he just picks you up and dumps you.
As Tim pointed out, he ain't taking no front bumps.
No.
He ain't taking no back bumps. He was just tossing top flight and action and dreading around like actual children.
Yeah, he took 0 back bumps. Everything just took him to a knee. And like this, and the match was cool. You know, everybody's flying around, doing all their shit. And as soon as Billy gets in the ring, everything slows the fuck down. He's like, all right, everybody.
Yep.
Slow.
Take it down a notch.
All right, you come at me. I'm gonna dump you. Okay, you come at me, dump you. And then you come at me, dump you. Yeah. And then he leaves. And it's awesome. Billy's fucking 61 years old or whatever. However fucking old he is, he's fucking awesome. Looks like $1 million. One of the chicken and rice originators,
absolutely.
Especially in the last 10 years. And
listen, man out of Hasbro,
right? Man out of Hasbro. I just love Billy Gunn's performance here. Shout out to Billy Gunn.
It was.
If you're listening, Billy, just chef's kiss. Wonderful.
Oh boy,
yeah, wonderful wrestling match.
So, Daniel Garcia versus Brody King.
Yeah, we're skipping a bunch. Hook's a stoop kid. Did you know that?
He sure is.
Yeah, stoop kid's afraid to leave a stoop. Yeah. All right, where are we going? What are we doing?
Daniel Garcia versus Brody King.
Yes. Okay, here we are.
This was Garcia trying to get any points, not trying to finish with a 0. If Brody won, I think he would advance to the finals of the Blue League. Dude, Brody beat the shit out of him.
Killed him.
For most of the match.
I don't think it's a surprise that Garcia wins.
I loved it.
Loved it. I haven't seen anybody say this because the matches have been so fucking good. But, like, I don't want to say the C2 was telegraphed. I just want to say that there was a very clear story they needed to tell.
And it's good. They're telling it on all different, like, everybody, though, everybody. You know?
And the story here is that Garcia gets his one win against somebody that really, on paper, looks like head-to-head, face-to-face, looks like he shouldn't. But yeah, it's about his perseverance. It's about not giving up when you're down.
Yep.
As much as, like, Mark Briscoe and Jay Lethal was, like, honor and friendship, this was, like, not fucking calling it in just because you're down.
Yep.
And yeah, he gets the shit kicked out of him. He ducks a lariat. He kicks out of a lariat. He kicks out of a pile driver. I guess it was a Gonzo bomb. They call it a Gonzo bomb, but it wasn't really. No. And then he gets the win with a fucking surprise jackknife.
Amazing.
Everything's falling in place for what this is supposed to be. When this happened, I was like, yes, this is where we're at.
That crowd went ballistic, too.
Absolutely.
Afterwards, Let's Go Out. Buddy and Malachi show up. Mm-hmm. They're beat up Garcia. Daddy Magic runs in the ring to, like, cover him, which I thought was such a great moment. Yeah. And then FTR comes out and they chase them off, and FTR and Garcia shake hands, and real cool shit.
Yeah, dude. It was really good. Brody, everybody, most people had such a cool Continental Classic. Like, it's been really cool. But super impressed with Brody. Yeah. Super impressed, man.
Been saying, let the guy go on his own, see what the fuck he does. Yeah. And he delivers.
Sure does. Almost so that he, like, you almost don't miss the other 2 members of the House of Black.
Well, that's what FTR brought up in that promo where they said, Brody got away from you guys and he don't need you.
Right.
Julia Hart, she's outshined you guys. You guys are just wasted potential.
Right. I was like, wasted potential, i.e., waiting to get back to the WWE.
Well, you're probably not wrong.
Yeah.
Thunder Rosa.
Yes. You didn't want to talk about this, but I Sky Blue, Julia Hart. Yeah. Spooky Sky Blue, Sky Black.
Listen, I'll talk about Sky Blue.
versus Abaddon and Thunder Rosa. So Sky Blue, I don't want to say I didn't get Sky Blue before, but I get Sky Blue more now. I'm not going to say I didn't get her. Obviously, I get her,
brother.
But this is an improvement, whole cloth. Whoa! Someone say AEW doesn't need another spooky person, and I say shut the fuck up.
When they come out looking like that,
yeah. Yep. So I really like this. I know you didn't poo-poo it, but like not your thing necessarily. I thought Abaddon and Julia in the beginning were laying it in on each other pretty good. And I thought they did a nice job of teasing the Thunder Rosa tagging because it is her return match.
Sure.
They're the baby faces, as awkward as that fucking is.
Yeah.
But they did a really good job, I felt, teasing the Thunder Rosa tag. When she tagged in, it was good. Baby faces win. Lots of butts.
I would say this is almost ass the match. The match
all
but,
over.
You know,
it's not, but it's close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. I like everybody here, so we'll see what happens. But
main event.
That Abaddon Thunder Rosa pairing, it's very odd.
It's super
weird for
awkward.
Abaddon. Out of anybody, like, I don't have a problem with Abaddon being like heel or baby face. You can work that either way. But either way, she should be a loner. But she shouldn't be shaking hands with ladies dressed like Barbie.
That's true.
She should be fighting people dressed like Barbie.
Yeah.
And people not dressed like Barbie. And everybody. She should be fighting everybody. But anyway.
Fight everyone.
Yes.
Speaking of fighting everyone, Eddie Kingston
fight fucking everybody
versus Andrade El Idolo.
Yes.
This was, hey, if Eddie gets the win, Eddie's in the finals against Dragon.
Right. This is Dragon has solidified his number one spot. Cannot be shooken from that. This is the battle for the number two, the battle for the semifinal match.
Sure is, man.
Yes.
And I thought this delivered.
Right. And because Eddie wins, him and Andrade end with the same points, but this is the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
And if Andrade wins, he's got 12. So, and Dragon has the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
So,
loved it. I thought this match was great.
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
I thought Andrade murdered Eddie with one of those spinning back elbows. It was just gross.
When he ducked the first one, I was like, all right, I know where this is going. Yeah. They're doing it the right way.
Yeah, man. And again, obviously so stoked about Eddie. Andrade had himself a hell of a tournament, though.
That's the thing, man. Like, I sort of, on the show and to you, sort of been like, what's Andrade do? Like, is he really worth, he's one of those guys that's going to jump. And I was like, he's good. I never said he wasn't good, but I was like, I just don't know if it fits here. I don't know if he's putting his best effort in. Whatever. He had a great fucking tournament.
Yeah, he really
fucking killed it. Chicken and rice all day.
Loads and loads.
Still doesn't mean that he's not going to probably try and take a jump back to be with his wife, because Charlotte was at the event in Mexico.
Oh, Charlotte
for 9 months.
Yeah, she ain't going to be doing much now.
Right. When Eddie ducks that first elbow and Andrade smiles at him, I was like, fuck, man.
Oh, so good.
Yeah. Eddie kicks out of the back elbow. He's selling the leg. I love that he blocks the figure four by grabbing the ankle. Eddie, this whole tournament has been like the matches of Eddie's life.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because he's not a schlub. Eddie's been having really good matches for a long time.
He's been killing it.
He's been fucking killing these matches. It's almost like if you just put two guys across the ring from each other who know what the fuck they're doing.
Just let them go.
Everything gets better. Your ratings go up. Your shows are better.
What a wild thought.
People talk nice things about your promotion and your matches.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this was really good. And it does set up Eddie versus Dragon. And because Dragon comes out to taunt Eddie,
dude,
and it's fucking awesome.
When Dragon turned his back on Eddie, that was so disrespectful.
You're a bum. You're nothing. You never beat me. You never will. And then Eddie's like, "I got you, bitch. You're my bitch."
Yeah.
But his back is turned. Oh man.
Oh, it was.
Yeah. They're so good at what they.
What a crazy thing.
So good at what they do. So good,
man.
So good.
All right.
And so here's the thing that I sort of want to talk about, which is really interesting before we get to Dynamite, with sort of where we're at, right? So the Blue League is Mox versus Swerve versus Switch.
That's the Gold League.
Or the Gold League. And the Blue League is Eddie Dragon, right?
Yes.
And I say this to you, we were talking about this sort of separately. I want to talk to it before we get to like the finishes of everything. But like in my praise for Eddie Kingston, Eddie does this crazy thing seemingly by himself, or brings it to the table at least, and people listen to him. I don't know quite how it works. But Eddie is really good at making sure that every little thing he does has a fucking story involved.
Yeah.
Right? So I was thinking about this, and I was like, okay, Eddie Dragon. Tons of story there. He's never beat him. He has history in AEW. He has history outside. Like, he's never beat him in his career. So the story's right there. I'm the king of the underdogs. I'm the king of the bums, right? But then you look at if he beats Dragon, who he's going to face in the finals, right? And Swerve he doesn't have history with.
No.
Right? Doesn't mean he can't create history, but doesn't really have history with, right? But he has a ton of history with Moxley, right? Which we learn about a little more, but like tons of they stole the Young Bucks shoes together. They're friends. Mox doesn't take his back when he's fighting Claudio, all that shit. But I was thinking about this and I was like, oh shit, he's also the dude that beat Switchblade to kick him out of fucking New Japan.
Sure is.
So like, I don't know how much Tony Khan knows his like history and shit. So I don't know how much it's Tony Khan paying attention to that shit and weaving it into the outcomes, or how much Eddie's bringing to the table saying, "Hey, I got history with these guys. Make sure it lines up in some way or whatever."
Yeah.
But the fact that it's there's 5 guys involved, it's Eddie and 4 guys involved, and Eddie has a history with 3 of those 4 guys.
I love
that. If he wins, there's already a built-in drama and built-in history to make that match feel more special.
Yeah.
Almost nobody fucking does that. Like, you get, like, the Edge and Christians where they were childhood friends and shit.
Sure.
But, like, all of the even the shit with Claudio, he always made sure that
it always mattered.
He always made sure that he had that in the background, that people knew that there was always something there.
Yeah.
So that if it came back around again, the fans would instantly be into it because there's history. And it reminds me, and again, throwing this around, a lot of praise, but it reminds me of Terry Funk. Because if Terry Funk walked into a territory where Dusty Rhodes happened to be working, you had a program. If he walked into a place where Harley Race was working, there's a program. If he walked into a place where Jerry Lawler was, there's a fucking program.
Yeah.
Like everywhere, like Terry made sure his history, and none of that was ever actually dropped. Feuds may end, matches are paid off and whatever.
Yeah, but history doesn't
But he's
end.
always able to circle that back, and that's what brings in fans. That's what brings in interest. Like, it fucking works, right?
Yep.
You even circle back to, like, him in when Terry shows back up in WCW, he has some ECW stuff he can play on, and it's just always around, and it's just such a smart way to do it. Makes your life a little easier, makes your job a little easier.
Yeah.
Because the fans are already ready. Because the drama's already there.
Yep.
It's really cool. It's just a really neat thing. Like, not a lot of people do that like Eddie does.
I agree. So Dynamite.
Yes.
Gold League final. Jon
Yes.
Moxley, Swerve Strickland, Switchblade Jay White. Mm-hmm. This is a no DQ match.
Because it's a 3-way.
Yeah, which I know a lot of people were questioning. Like, why? Why all of a sudden are we doing this as a no DQ?
Because 3-way, they've always no DQ.
Yeah, but the tournament rules and all that shit,
Well, yeah, but we're not technically. I mean, we're in the tournament, but it's the semifinals of the tournament.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it.
I was like, somebody brought it up last night. I said, roll with it.
Just roll with it. Yeah, just let it happen.
Go with the baby. You
right.
know?
Yeah. Right.
And it's ended pretty much how I thought it would. And
yes,
Jon Moxley pinning Switchblade Jay White.
Right.
Jon Moxley wins the Gold League.
Which was the way to do it.
Absolutely.
I think both of us sort of thought the Keith Lee thing would come around here.
I definitely
And
did.
I did see somebody say, well, but TK said that if you interfere in these matches, you're fired.
Yeah, but there's no DQ.
But there's no DQ. And,
So,
in my mind, the tournament's decided. These are the semifinals. It's a little different.
Yeah.
And I go, that's not the best excuse, but wrestling often doesn't have the best excuse.
Play fast and loose.
I think the people that sort of worry about those things a little too much are the same people that watch, like, Alien and be like, well, that spaceship wouldn't actually work in space. It's like, just let it fucking happen, please.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was great. Swerve does the fucking gritty.
Dude, Swerve is unfucking deniable.
Unreal. We said this, like, he has to lose here. He doesn't take the pin. We've talked about this for weeks. Switch takes the pin. It's the way it needed to be.
Yeah, and I know Tim, we were watching, talking in the Discord last night, and Tim said there hasn't been a wrestler he feels like he's got to watch his every move in a long time since Swerve. Like now that Swerve's here, he has full attention,
Yes. Swerve is...
Everything he does is just so, like, cool.
Everything. His stuff is always snug. Like, he's just always so good. But yeah, he bites Mox's middle finger.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot. Mox wings the right way. I didn't know how they were going to get Swerve out of it enough. I thought that's where Keith Lee would come in, but it's fine that, they just got shit canned. It's a perfectly fine ending. Because also, we said it, we might have said it on the show, but we definitely talked about it off air. I'm not saying that this tournament isn't important, because I think it's going to be a little more important in AEW than AEW thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But the Continental Crown, the Triple Crown, Western Triple Crown is a little too small for Swerve.
Yeah, it is.
And
Now it is.
I love Eddie, and this is the Eddie story, and I think Eddie can also do whatever the fuck he wants in that company. We'll get to it. Like, people boo Bryan Danielson because of that fucking Eddie. And that's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But Swerve is too big.
Yeah.
Swerve needs that world title.
100% does.
So he had to lose here because it's almost too small for him.
Yeah.
He's the only one in the tournament that I would have been like, if it's not Eddie, it could be Swerve, but it's too small for him. Yeah. It's too small of a stage. It's too small.
I agree.
Yeah.
You don't need him in Ring of Honor or New Japan at this point.
No.
You really don't.
And that's the thing, too. Like, this is going to be, this title's a big deal, but it is going to hold the person responsible to 3 different promotions, essentially.
Yeah.
You have to be doing that loop. And Eddie can do that.
Yeah. Swerve doesn't need to.
Too big.
Yeah. So
too universally popular. Like Eddie is still at times a little sort of not controversial, but like some people are a little split. Sometimes people don't get Eddie.
Yeah,
it's not Eddie's fault. They just don't understand.
Yeah.
But like Swerve has this like universal like like if you were to build a wrestler from scratch and be like you'd come up with Swerve a bunch of times.
Yeah. More on him later.
Yes.
Sammy Guevara,
brother,
is back because the Don Callis family reveals Boxing Week paintings, and Sammy Guevara comes back.
Oh, how bad did Maria May die in that fucking?
Yeah, that wasn't very.
Poor Maria May, not her fault. Fans didn't like it. Really dumb to announce that her next match isn't until the New Year.
Yeah,
just don't do it. But anyway,
that should have been a backstage.
Should have been a backstage thing. Absolutely.
But yeah, so Sammy Guevara comes out, confronts Don Callis.
Yeah.
You haven't checked on me since I got concussed.
This has Jimmy Jacobs stink all over it.
It 1,000,000% does, brother.
Because it's
hey, let's put something under a cloth and reveal it.
Put something on an easel, cover it with a cloth, and we'll reveal it.
And Jericho.
And we'll have Jericho involved. It's a Jimmy Jacobs stink all over it.
Yeah.
All over it.
So, Sammy confronts Callis. Callis reveals the painting. The daughter's in the painting with the Callis family. Sammy's pissed. Who gave you permission to
which is so stupid. It's so fucking dumb.
And then Sammy gets jumped.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the painting at the end of Ghostbusters 2 when Vigo turns into all of them with the baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just...
What a weird painting. They give Dan Aykroyd a six-pack. Yeah. Very weird.
That is very weird. It's just... Jericho comes out.
Sammy's bad at this kind of stuff. He's almost as bad at this as he is at growing sideburns.
It's just... It's rough. He was gone for however long. He was only a heel for like a week and a half before he got hurt.
Right.
And listen, you got hurt. I get it, man.
Yeah, anyone on paternity leave.
Do much about that.
Right.
But first time back, and you're already back.
And the
Jericho.
thing is, I saw people comparing him to Big Show for how many times he just uselessly slips back and forth. Man. It ain't it for Sammy. He's one of those guys that like they had really high hopes for. He's a young talent. Doesn't mean he can't turn it around. But
send his ass to Orlando.
It's not here. It's just AEW, and I love AEW, but they do not have the tools to save this guy. And being just tagged up and constantly attached to Jericho's every whim does not help this dude. And I don't want to see anybody fail, but he stinks here. Nothing is working.
Yeah.
There's another guy in this company who I think has his last chance coming up at this pay-per-view, and I would also say, all right, just stay home until you leave. His name's Miro. One more shot.
Agreed.
Right? It's just not working. Yeah. I'm not saying like fuck these guys, they're bad. It just doesn't work here. You're not finding your footing.
I think that's something for moving forward. TK needs to just stay the fuck home and let your contract run out.
There's no hard feelings. I'm sorry. You're not finding your footing here.
Yep.
It's just what it is. Yeah. But Sammy just can't do this kind of shit. And then Jericho comes out and like you can hear the audible gasp from wrestling fans around the world, not just in the arena, but around the world.
Yeah.
People were not into this.
Yeah. Last night in the Discord, we were very poo-pooey on it. And then obviously Sting and Darby make the save, which I love Sting.
Yeah.
I love Darby. Happy to see them. They make it an 8-man tag for the pay.
I was so mad.
Because Starks and Big Bill come out and jump Jericho.
Right.
And
because I was like, oh, okay. I was like, put Sting and Darby in this match, make it interesting, and then maybe strap up Sting before he leaves or something. And I was like, this could be cool. You make it a 4-way tag match even. Like, this could work. And then I saw it was an 8-man, and I'm like, I'm not interested in this.
No need for it.
I'm not interested.
Nope.
I want to see Sting, obviously. And I like Darby's new jacket. Reminded me of WCW Ultimate Warrior a little bit.
It was very nice.
But like man, I don't know. I just don't get it. And like the thing too about Sammy in this is that Sammy would say a line and then he would do like the Rock thing where he would lift his chin up and look at the crowd waiting for his ovation.
Yeah.
And the crowd was like, nah, this ain't it, dude.
And we talked about Sammy a little bit today in the Discord, and I was just kind of like, it's just not it. He had that momentum after that ladder match against Cody.
It was great. That was one of the best matches in AEW.
He was a hot
That's one of Cody's
face.
best matches ever.
And then Tim pointed out, and then they put him with Tay
Yep.
and tried to make him like Cody and Brandy. And I said, yeah, fans didn't forget. Not long before that, he was proposing to another woman on television.
Right. Yep.
And it didn't work.
And they flip-flop him back and forth. Will he, won't he with Jericho? And everyone sees right through that it's Jericho's whim. Yeah. Jericho's just like, well, I don't know what to do. Give me Sammy.
The whole Jericho.
I'll turn on Sammy.
The whole Jericho Callis story has sucked.
Well, and
even Sammy brought up a good point last night. He goes, "Oh, Hobbs, you beat Chris Jericho. What have you done since?"
I like how he forgot Takeshi's name.
Yeah, Big Take.
Big Take.
He's the new Take.
Yeah.
You beat Kenny Omega twice. What have you done?
Right.
And I like you just skipped over Kyle Fletcher.
And
Fletcher goes, like, me? What about me?
It's really interesting there. And like, look at like Jericho's whim where it's just left the rest of the JAS twisting, man.
Yeah.
They're trying with 2.0.
They're trying.
And I like 2.0 a lot.
I think they're amazing.
And I think they could do a lot more.
Yeah.
Like they were getting real hot even as Everrise before they came over. But like they're all left twisting because Jericho was just like, well, I'm going to turn, then Sammy's going to turn, and then I'm going to put me back with Sammy, and then I'm going to latch on to Omega, and
then I'm going to join Callis, but Callis is going to deny me, but then I'm going to get mad because Sammy didn't do the heel thing good enough for me by hitting Ospreay with a bat. Like
I'm going to give Kenny Omega diverticulitis.
Essentially, that fucking segment gave me diverticulitis. Blue League final.
Sean D's not the devil. Blue League final. There we are. Yes, sorry.
Eddie Kingston.
Go through my notes.
Brian Danielson.
This should have been the main event. I understand why it wasn't after seeing what they put in the main event, but what they put in the main event is stupid. This should have been the main event. But anyway.
Yeah, I know. We were all chatting last night, and I think it was Joe's like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, right.
Eddie Bryan. Dude.
Eddie got cleaned up. You can see Eddie.
Yeah, got lined up,
it comes up a little, the beard's a little scruffy, the hair's a little scruffy. Gets lined up, looking good.
It looked great.
Yeah, looking great.
This match fucking rocked, man. I loved it.
It's fucking great.
Him and Danielson just trading chops. Yeah. It's gross. Danielson's chest.
It's insane.
It looked like hamburger meat, baby.
Like, maybe halfway through this match, maybe a little less than halfway, Dragon's in the corner taking chops, and he starts to turn away from them. Like, he's, please stop. Like, he's trying everything he can to not take him straight on, because Eddie was fucking crushing
Eddie was whooping that ass.
Whooping his ass.
Yeah, this was incredible, though. Eddie wins. Eddie's going to the fucking finals.
When Dragon is spitting on Eddie, and Eddie's just fucking chopping him, he's like,
amazing.
Boom. Crazy. Like, so good.
I love Eddie Kingston.
Yeah.
God damn, do I love Brian Danielson.
Right. Like, and that's the thing. Brian Danielson, we say it all the time, the best in-ring worker of the last 20 years, if not ever. Like there's only pure in-ring talent alone, there's one man in front of him. And it's Hitman.
Yeah.
That's it.
Boy, in a week today, he just has to go wrestle Okada in the Tokyo.
Right?
Holy shit.
But, but Dragon, like Eddie steamrolls Dragon for the first 10 minutes of this match.
Oh, he's whooping his ass.
And then Dragon gets his comeback, and the crowd fucking boos.
Yeah.
This man, all he has to do is put two fingers in the air, and arenas around the world will chant at him. And he gets a comeback on Eddie Kingston, and they're like, boo.
I love, though, when Danielson was beating Kingston up and he's just screaming, you're a bum.
Right, yep.
He's a bum.
He's a bum. Yep.
Then the crowd started chanting, he's a bum.
Yeah.
And he's yelling at Eddie, listen to him. They don't even like you. You're a bum.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, my God. I love good guy underdog babyface Brian Danielson. But like shitty
heel,
he's
so much better at it.
Oh, he's so good at it.
He's so much better at it.
Oh, I fucking love Danielson.
His chest gets gross. He hits the Busaiku knee, and Eddie, that real weak kick out by Eddie. And like, I knew where this was going. All the pieces had fallen into place. This match fucking rules. It doesn't take anything away from it. And I told Michelle, she was going to bed, and I'm like, if Eddie Kingston loses this match tonight, TK's dead to me. and I meant it.
Yeah. I wouldn't have.
I knew where it was going. We knew where it was going. The pieces had fallen too far into place.
Yeah.
It's the right call. I'm never going to be mad about Dragon winning anything.
No.
But Eddie's king of the fucking underdogs.
Sure is, man.
And, he gets a moment that he says in the promo
my man's
afterwards.
been listening to a lot of Terror lately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He gets a lot. Has he been quoting Terror? Is that why? One with the underdogs.
Yeah, promo days, and he said, I'm one with the underdogs. I'm the lowest of the low.
Oh, yeah.
I was just
funny.
Let's fucking
there you
go, Eddie.
I didn't make that connection, but yeah, I know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Eddie said he wins with the quad power bomb, and he cuts that promo all covered in ice, and it's fucking great. And he names all his heroes, and he's like, people don't understand how big of a match. Like he goes, this is me getting to the finals. That's huge. He goes, but I've never beaten this man.
Yeah,
my whole career. Like that's how big. He said,
I've always wanted to be like him.
I've always wanted to be him, and now I got to beat him. Yeah. Awesome. Tears in my eyes after this win. The thing that Eddie Kingston does it's sort of unique to him that I realized when I was watching him is that when I watch Eddie Kingston wrestle, it makes me want to watch more wrestling.
Oh, absolutely it does.
And not every Dragon does that. A lot of guys do that.
Yeah.
But there's some guys that I even like that I'm like, okay, I'm all right here. Mm-hmm. But I've never watched, and MJF has had good matches.
Absolutely, yes.
But I've never watched an MJF match and go, I want to watch more wrestling. And I'm not even talking about more Eddie or more MJF, just wrestling in general.
Wrestling in general.
Eddie wrestles and I'm like, fucking wrestling, man.
Yeah, dude.
Let's fucking go. And when MJF wrestles, I'm like, oh, that was better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
So. And then Mox comes out.
I love the Mox promo to him where he's like, years ago I let you off the hook. I let you go out on your sword. This time that ain't happening. I'm putting you down.
We were partners. We're brothers. And I like when Eddie goes, you forget, I'm your senpai. I broke you in.
Yeah, you're my young boy.
You're my young boy. Yep.
Yeah, not like your little young bitch, Yuta.
Awesome, dude.
Oh, so
they're gonna fucking kill each other, man.
I can't fucking wait.
There's no way it doesn't steal the fucking pay-per-view. Yeah. There's no way it doesn't.
Main event.
It's got to make it to the fucking. It's
Tim
gonna make
said
my
it
match
either goes on first or it goes on last.
That's what you want, right? You don't want any other spot, first or last.
Yep. Set the tone.
Set the tone. Maybe it goes on first.
Fuck, that'd be sick. All right. Sky Blue Chris Statlander.
Yeah, so it's Big Stoke on commentary.
Dude, he was amazing.
He's the best.
At one point, Taz said, we need Stoke out here more often. I think that was just like a shoot to Tony Khan. Is he trying to get
Stat, to Ring of Honor, maybe against Athena?
I don't know. Because they kind of dropped that whole, Ring of Honor president thing.
Did they?
Well, he doesn't mention it at all.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's
I don't know what's happening
that's fine.
there.
Get Stoke on TV. I don't care how it happens.
Yeah, he was great. I'll tell you what, man, this match was pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
Sky Blue, she hit the code blue normally, and it looked good.
That's the best she's ever fucking hit.
And then when she hit the avalanche
it
was gross.
Better at basing and all that sort of stuff.
Be.
But the avalanche one was really well done. Yeah. The timing was right on it. It's very easy to overturn or underturn doing that off the top rope, and they did a really good job.
And her and Julia are beating Stat up after the match after Sky wins.
Yeah.
Willow runs out for the save. 2024, do fucking something with Willow challenge.
I'm not going to complain about Willow running in the ring ever.
No, but
yes.
Do something with
Willow challenge.
Please.
Yeah.
I'm begging you.
Yeah. Don't let Rex Lawless see that.
God. And then the main event shit. It's going to the entrances are at 9:58.
Brother, this is really interesting. So this show.
This is why I texted you because you were watching late and I said, hey, make sure you set for an overrun just in case.
Listen here, Brian Alvarez. I did set to record the show after, but I never even had to go look into it because YouTube TV just played the fucking overrun on my recording.
Good.
This show, you get Dragon Eddie, right? And then after that, you get Edge beating up Christian thing. You get Stat Sky Blue, which was good. Yeah. And then you get a Ruby and Saraya promo into this fucking Devil's Goons thing.
That's why a lot of people last time were saying this was such a mixed bag of a show.
I thought it was mostly good, but yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was mixed, but yes.
But yeah, the stuff at the end here.
So Joe gets jumped backstage.
Yeah.
Max comes out. Joe doesn't. Yeah. Cut to the video. Joe's grabbing his knee. Max
ends up losing the match because he wants to defend it on his own anyway.
Yeah.
He loses. Joe chases the Devil's guys off.
Right. I swear to God, one of them was fucking Mike Bennett.
Yeah. They pop up. The Devil pops up on the screen, says, "Pleasure doing business with you."
Right.
And Joe beats up MJF.
Right. So
with the chair,
he's not hurt though, right?
He wasn't.
Joe faked the getting jumped.
Faked the whole.
And Tony Khan at the press conference confirmed that Joe's not the Devil.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
He just said they were in cahoots.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
I don't.
Here's the thing.
Shit.
Here's the funny thing about this MJF thing, because we've seen him bury the fucking idiot, not fucking the righteous, by beating both of them by himself. Yeah. He doesn't get the opportunity here, right?
This time because he's biting Chris Brooks' gimmick.
Right. Biting Chris Brooks' gimmick.
MJF, your new favorite wrestler.
Both you and Tim are now banned from the house on Saturday. I only have the power to ban Tim, but Michelle will unban you.
Yes, very fast, yes.
She might unban Tim.
Yeah, she might ban you.
She might ban me, right. Well, me or you, she bans me, for sure. Me, Tim, I got a fighting chance. But it depends on how recently Tim's had a haircut, because I'm a disaster.
But a fabulous disaster.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So Max is already beat up, right? He goes into this match a little hurt, we know. He faces two guys. He gets hit with a pipe. He gets run through. And they still have to cheat to pin him.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are saying that.
What are you doing?
Yeah, come on.
And to me, that is like Max in the back going, well, I got to protect my character. Yeah. It's like, no, you don't. There's nothing to protect here. You get the shit kicked out of you by two guys. You're not a fucking superhero.
That's like the old story of CM Punk in a handicap match against the Shield saying, well, CM Punk, you're going over, but make him look strong. He goes, how the fuck am I supposed to make three guys look strong? I'm fighting by myself. What do you mean?
Right.
I'm supposed to get the shit kicked out of me.
Right. How am I going to make him look strong with me going over? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But and then Joe attacks Max, and we get that for the pay-per-view. Which I think is going to be a good match. It depends on how Max, what condition Max is actually in. We don't know what condition he's actually in.
I think it's, if you're going to make a move, now's the time.
Yeah.
Put the belt on Joe.
Yes.
He could be a champ for a couple months until Swerve beats him for it.
Right. And that so that's the exact way that has to go. Yeah. We'll probably talk about it in a second here, but it's the exact way that has to go. Mm-hmm. If I'm doing this, Max storyline, he's so beat up, he's so run down.
Yeah.
The devil stuff can still happen without him being world champion. There's nothing that can come out of this devil stuff that's going to be satisfying to almost anybody.
Yeah.
It's definitely not going to satisfy everyone. It's going to be mostly poo-pooed. There might be some small groups of people that are okay with it, but it's gone on too long. It got beat up by happenstance. Cole getting hurt.
Absolutely.
Max getting hurt. There's a lot of bad luck in this fucking program.
Time to just end this shit and move on.
Right. Because it also hit around the same time that people were starting to be like, hey, cut the WWE light shit, which is Max. That's what Max wants to and knows. Max has very much come out and said, I want to do very little in my matches, and I want the drama to drive the attention.
And he has said, different flavors of ice cream.
Right, and that's fine.
And I'm fine with that.
He's right about that. But that flavor, but you don't necessarily get that flavor
we're
of ice cream.
We're scraping the bottom of the carton at this point to get that flavor still.
Right, and that, while this company, this ice cream company, makes that flavor, and it's pretty good, their rival company does that flavor much better.
Yeah.
I prefer that flavor from another company.
Sure.
And I just think it just doesn't quite fit, and it's gone on wildly too long.
Yeah.
People are saying you had the opportunity to back away from it, and I don't think that's true.
No.
I think you could have, but you would have been fucking buried. People would have came for your fucking throats on it. But you could have ended it a lot sooner, and it needs to end at this pay-per-view. Start 2024, fresh slate.
Yep.
Joe will make a great temporary champion because Swerve has to win that title in 3 months. It has to happen. Yep. It has to fucking
within
happen.
the next
pay-per-view.
Between January, now and Revolution.
Yep.
He has to win it.
Right. I put it the latest you can do that is at Revolution.
I agree. That's the absolute
latest because you have to also give Swerve a good run. For when he loses it to Ospreay in Wembley.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You have to.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
I don't care that people might say it's predictable. I don't care that I can see where that's where it's going. It doesn't fucking matter.
Nope.
Because AEW's strategy from here on out should be, what are the best matches that I can put on TV and pay-per-view week to week, day to day to get people happy? And looking at their entire fucking roster, the best match you can have main event Wembley is Swerve Will fucking Ospreay.
Absolutely.
It'll get 7 goddamn stars.
Yeah, I agree.
It
1,000,000%.
Just what it has to be.
That's the match.
It has to be.
That's it.
Just what it is.
Just,
what it is. It's fine that wrestling can be predictable and you know where it's going.
I'm okay
fine
with that.
Fucking waiting for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the end of wrestling this week. No trip to Japan.
No.
We got bigger, better things to do.
We sure do.
There's a little bit going on. Next week is a huge
it's a big week next week.
Huge fucking week next week. With everything going on, with AEW, with Wrestle Kingdom, with Noah's, which is essentially a second or a first Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Because it has Ishii Kitamiya on it.
Yeah.
But we're not going to do our year end yet. We're going to finish the end of the show, correct?
We normally do. I think, there's going to be a certain someone asking a question of the week.
Okay. Do you want to say your match? What's your domestic match of the week, Brett?
Honestly, oh man, it might be Claudio Danielson.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going King.
Those
Danielson.
two, man, they just, it's like a 1A, 1B,
sure.
you know,
Sure.
but yeah,
Okay.
I'll go with that, I guess. But that'll lead us into a certain question from a certain friend.
And now the Tim Taylor question of the week.
All right, the Tim Taylor question of the week.
Oh.
In honor of the annual reading of Joe Sposo's podcast, Pet Peeves, which if you listen at After Dark, Joe gave the annual reading.
Okay.
What are some pet peeves that you guys have in regards to wrestling?
Oh.
This could be things that irritate you in matches, going to live events, production-related matters, promo tropes, etc. Number one pet peeve for me, because you brought up live events, is the fucking crowd.
Yeah.
If I can sit down and go to a live wrestling show, just my friends, I would do that.
Right.
Like, there's just some people I can't fucking take.
Sure.
Perfect example was this year. Well, there's been a few. This year, our first night in Philly at the All-Star Junior Festival.
Yes.
The people we were by were so fucking cool, man. They were great.
Awesome. One of the best wrestling crowds I've ever been a part of.
Like just super nice and fun, and like if they didn't know something, they were asking us questions, you know, which I was like, oh, I feel nice.
Right.
And then 24 hours later, in front of that Impact crowd and the people we were by, I wanted to bash my fucking head off.
Well, think about, but like your ketchup smelling friend was also earlier this year, right? Or was that last year?
That was also this year,
right?
My ketchup water friend, which I do find as we're getting older, like I feel like I just want to kind of sit by my friends with nobody around me,
right?
And I like cheering, I like getting a little rowdy, but like.
I've started to come because I'm more of the pushing forced sort of like let's get the best seats and blah blah blah. But like I'm starting to realize like I've had my share, I've had my fun. Yeah, let's. I'd much rather be chill and enjoy a show. Yeah, but like the bottom line of that really is like just take a fucking shower before you go to a wrestling show.
Yeah, please.
Rub some Lumi on your parts and like an all over body deodorant. I saw the commercial.
Us being at the New Japan show in DC, it was like perfect.
Yeah.
Like even when Kevin Ford came over, he's like,
"Shout out Kevin Ford, brother.
Well, you're the fucking man."
Yeah.
When he came over and he goes, "Yeah, I think we're gonna get these seats next year." He goes, "This is great back here. You know, nobody really bothering us. It's a good time." And then the next day, sitting with Ketchup Water Man and his fucking signs and his fucking
I forgot most of these things about this guy again because my brain, as a trauma response, erases bad things.
Yeah,
you're bringing it all right back.
I can't do it, man. Yeah, there's just some times where even when you, Joe, and I were at Full Gear last year, and like the one dude behind us just kept talking about CM Punk.
Yeah,
and I'm just like,
but the people in front of us were cool as shit.
They were cool. Yeah, that one girl was super cool because she was schooling everybody.
Yeah.
I was like, you fucking rock.
Yeah,
but like that one guy, I was just like, dude, I get it, I understand, but like, shut the fuck up, dude. Shut up.
Yeah.
Do I have any other pet peeves like in matches? Yeah.
I have a bunch, but they're all kind of just nitpicky. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I have a pet peeve that because of you.
Yeah.
On 3 counts.
Right.
I hate myself.
Everybody does it.
I'm not even gonna mention it because it's gonna drive me nuts.
Sure.
Production related matters.
Well, I hate the cuts. We've talked about this last week.
Camera cuts are,
I hate camera cuts on Impact.
I hate Crash TV.
Right. I hate it. I hate when a chop, like Eddie Dragon would have been cut every chop. Insane.
Yeah.
I fucking hate it.
Could you imagine just a back and forth?
Right.
Oh,
It's insane.
I would have said
It drives me
enough.
fucking nuts. Otherwise, I mean, I could nitpick a bunch of other things. I hate when, you're not selling after the bell. I just all that kind of stuff, but like that's all nitpicky wrestler stuff. That's all me being like paying too close attention and all that kind of stuff. I prefer it, not necessarily like a pet peeve, but like I want you to lay your shit in when I see your powder puff punches. I get fucking mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I kind of agree with you. Like being fans in a wrestling crowd, a little rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I really have anything else. That's like really not that's not like super fucking smart Marky of me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I guess I have like almost a pet peeve with myself sometimes.
Yeah.
Where I was talking this morning to my boss. We were talking some wrestling this morning, and I said I wish I could turn my brain off a little bit when watching wrestling and just
sometimes I can,
enjoy
sometimes I can't.
what I'm watching and not know this and that and this other thing. And I just kind of wanted like
I don't know if this is a pet peeve, but like I think people are way too willingly involved in ratings and money and time slots and all that sort of shit. Like I just you would enjoy wrestling a lot more if you paid less attention to that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I understand it's also in your face 24/7. It's a different world we live in, you know. But like, a fucking stunt granny had way better time at a wrestling show, 40 years ago than the people who was looking around going, oh, you know what, pet peeve? Taking fucking pictures of the hard cam side at fucking wrestling shows before the fucking show starts and saying, it's fucking empty here.
R.I.P.
Yeah, bull fucking shit. Get the hell out of here. But, that's, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Also, people crowding the fucking parking garages when wrestlers are trying to fucking
I know
leave.
a pet peeve of yours.
Yeah?
This is more so at indie shows.
Okay.
Running up and pounding on the ring.
Oh, I fucking hate it, dude. I've always hated it. That is not a pet. What's bigger than a pet peeve? That is
every time you get
dude,
so
that
bad.
is a fucking pet. I don't even know. I burn with a fiery fucking rage.
Yeah.
Just don't touch the fucking ring. Just don't. And I know a lot of indie, like there's, I don't even know if they still do it, but like indie promotions used to run just with people standing right there. And like, the indie wrestlers do like the dude that does the backflip off the fat guy and all that kind of shit. I fucking hate it, man. I don't know why. I understand there's no guardrails and shit, but like, I've watched wrestling a long time. I very, poorly at one point attempted to try my hand at the deal. And like, I want the guys in there, no matter who they are, from Bryan Danielson down to fucking, Leo Sparrow or, whatever, to do the best job they possibly can in that fucking ring. And it is in no way should I be in even the slightest position to be able to interfere or be in the way of anyone.
Yeah.
Stand up, cheer, but stay in your general fucking vicinity. It's the same thing with like people like you'll see them like when guys go up to the guardrail and they'll start patting their backs and like putting their arm around them and shit. Don't touch people.
Yeah.
Just don't touch anybody. I've gotten high fives. That's fucking different. Like high fives, handshakes. That's fucking different. But like when John Moxley like is selling up against the rail and the guys pull over to like hug him, don't fucking touch anybody. Fucking stop.
Yeah.
Oh, another pet peeve in wrestling.
Here we go.
Fucking rolling. When referees stop because they know it's not the finish.
Okay.
And they obviously stop.
You want them to call it like a shoot?
I understand that that's difficult sometimes, and it is a thing about your ability as a wrestler, whether or not to pay attention to all that kind of stuff. But like, it is so obvious when you know that's not the kick out, and you only go to 2 1/4 before you're like, whoa, and then they kick out. It's the wrestler's fucking responsibility. I understand you don't want any referee to fuck on you, but you know what I mean? Like, everyone needs to work together, and part of that is working that timing out.
Yeah.
And it bothers, and like, I'm not saying like some guys stop or whatever, and I'm not saying do like some of the guys where they'll do it and they'll turn or throw their arm all the way through, but a lot of refs are very fucking obvious when they stop at 2 1/2 because they know the kick out's coming, but the kick out hasn't come yet. Bothers me. Bothers me. Right. That's it. I'm done. There's a lot more now. Now I'm rolling. Now the brain's turning. We're ready to fucking go. But
well, hey Tim, thank you so much. And that was the.
That was. Oh, I don't have my volume on. That worked because I didn't have to fucking talk about how the language was different.
Thank you, Tim.
Thanks, Tim. Timsy. Timsy, you're back in.
He's owning it.
Is he?
Because in the email I said Timsy question of the week.
Good.
So
we'll see how much he owns it when I call him it every fucking 30 seconds.
He's gonna be so upset.
That's fine.
So starting next week, we enter Royal Rumbler season.
We do enter Royal Rumbler season.
So if you enjoyed January last year, we had Michelle on the show.
Yes.
DJ's wife.
Yes,
my
wife.
best pal.
My wife.
Wings on Wings connoisseur.
Yes. The executive vice president of sodas.
EVP of soda. She loves the Royal Rumble.
She does love the Royal Rumbler.
And she will admit it.
Yes, she will.
She will.
So one thing she'll admit.
So we get 4 times a year where she will willingly sit down and watch wrestling with us. And this is for 5, not counting all the recordings of the Royal Rumble.
Sure.
So last year, I still in my notes of what we did. The years we covered last year for Royal Rumble were 1993, 1994, 2000, and 2014.
Oh.
So I have a wheel here.
Completely random.
Yes, I have all the years here, men's and women's for the ones that qualify. And we're going to see what Michelle's going to watch with us next week.
Okay.
And it's going to be decided right now.
Brad loves wheels.
I'm a big wheel fan. It's a long spin. All right. So I kind of like this.
Okay.
Because it's old enough that we watched it with her. But this is the one that kind of got her into the Rumbles.
Okay.
So it is the 2018 Women's Royal Rumble.
Oh, it's the thing that made her like Rumbles.
It's what made her like Rumbles.
Was that only 2018? That's crazy. Okay.
All right. So the 2018.
I like it. She'll know a lot of these people.
Yeah.
She has opinions on some of these people, very strong
which
ones.
I like.
And at some point, we're not going to tell her like who the victor is, but at some point she's going to remember what it is.
Yeah.
And she's going to freak out. Hopefully not enough to break the board again like she did. Because she did last year legit freak out and break our soundboard.
It was the 94 Rumble.
Yeah.
She freaked out about it. So, all right, 2018 Women's Rumble.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one to start. Going to ease her back into the season.
Yeah.
With one that she's going to like.
Yeah, so I'm so excited for that.
Cool.
We're not going to tell her until we sit down and watch it.
Right.
So, perfect.
You know before she does.
Yeah.
Don't spoil it on the internet, people.
Don't tell
we haven't
her.
recorded yet.
Don't fucking tell
Right.
her. But, all right, before we get into the year-end stuff, I think we have a message from one Mr. Terry Funk.
Something that might be a New Year's message.
Let's talk about something that all of you people want to talk about out there. Let's increase your intelligence. I'm going to increase your vocabulary now by teaching you out there a new word. And do you know what that new word is? The new word is a dusty. And what is a dusty? A dusty is a 150-pound frame with 50 pounds of added fat, 50 pounds of added obesity, and 50 pounds of hot air. If you combine those all together, what do you have? You have a 300-pound blob. So, if you take that 300-pound blob and you... of the top away from it. And you take 50 pounds of obesity away from us. jackass. That's what you have left. And if you breed that heartless jackass to a thick-tongued, overbearing, obnoxious, slutty barmaid, what you produce is an offspring called a Dustin. That's right, a Dustin. And a Dustin is a fool that doesn't know how to say the simplest of words. And you know what the simplest of words is? No. No, Daddy! No, Daddy, no! Don't put me in the ring with Terry Funk! Daddy, please! Please, Daddy, don't do it to me, Daddy! I don't want to go. All you have to do is say no! No! No!
And we're back. Thank you, Terry Funk, for the kind words and your Dusty Rhodes nonsense. Very close, Brett, to my prediction at the beginning of the show. Only like I don't remember what I said.
You said 123.
123.
We were within.
So like
right,
four minutes or so over we went.
Okay,
so
I'm okay
look at me having a premonition, if you will.
Don't. No, you better not.
But let's get into the year-end business, if you will.
We're here, baby.
That's right.
All right, so we have a couple categories.
We do, and thank you to everybody who wrote in.
Yes.
It was great response. Very excited. I love most of you.
Who don't you love?
Timsy. He's on my shit list.
Oh, no, Tim. All right, so...
He's fucking started it.
Is there any particular topic you want to start with?
No, I don't have a... No. Mm-mm.
Okay. So I'm going to save the matches for the end because I feel like that's the most divisive.
All right. Mine's a little wild, so...
All right.
See what happens.
Let's go with the
one
top...
One of them on my list is your fault, so... But
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let's go with the top 3 events of the year.
Okay.
Top 3 shows.
All right. Do you have a specific order for everyone? Or are you just going random whatever?
Let's talk you and me first,
okay.
And then I have an order.
And you have a 1, 2, 3? Okay.
I do.
Okay, you have like a definitive, this is the number one,
I have,
number two,
I have
three.
a 1, 2, 3.
Okay, and then we'll talk other people's?
Yeah.
All right.
So my number 3 show of the year is from September 3rd of this year, 2 days before my date of birth. AEW All Out.
Oh, okay.
So I chose this show because you have, I'd say, 3 matches on this show that I absolutely loved.
Okay. This was the week after Wembley?
Yeah, so this is the week after Wembley.
All right.
So, and I think because there's 3 matches on the show that I absolutely loved, and it's the week after Wembley, and everybody was very, how are they going to do it? How are they going to pull it off? And I think these it was a great there's show. 3 matches.
Not on my list. Great show.
I have Bryan Danielson, Ricky Starks in the strap match.
Great match.
You had Takeshita to Omega, which Takeshita went over on Omega.
Right.
And then the main event, Moxley versus OC.
Yeah.
For the international title, where Moxley beat him.
Yep.
Those 3 matches are just, I think, 3 of the best you'll see this year.
Okay.
I thought there was other good matches on it. Miro Hobbs had that big meat match.
Right, it was a great match. And they did fucking nothing with it.
They did nothing with it. Even Bullet Club Gold against FTR and the Bucks was good for this match.
For sure.
I just think the circumstances around it, you were in Chicago. There was no Punk.
Right.
This was after Wembley. Crazy.
A week after Wembley.
Literally a week after your biggest show ever.
Yeah.
And you were able to come here and have just bangers.
Right.
3 real bangers for me.
So,
if you don't have them in order, that's okay.
I do.
That's my number 3.
I have an honorable mention that I'm going to say very quickly.
No problem with that.
Because it's not so much because of the matches. My honorable mention is the All-Star Junior Festival in Philadelphia.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Because it was a great fucking time.
I wonder why.
But I got to meet Taguchi this year. And it really it makes me so happy. And I got a shadow box for everything, by the way.
Oh, did you?
I didn't put it in there yet, but I got it.
You're going to have to have it on display for Saturday.
Yeah, right. So, just because, like, one of my favorite, and like we said before, the cool people around us, the Taguchi stuff, like, I still get a little chills about it. Like, it was really great. I love taking those trips with you every year.
Yeah.
We're going to keep doing like the DC stuff for as long as we can.
Yep.
and then All-Star was later, and like Impact was fun, but whatever. But like
Impact was also free,
right? But getting to meet Taguchi and everything was just really made my year. Even.
Yeah.
But anyway, and even this year was like the journey to meet Taguchi is really kind of cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, my number 3 event.
You finished the story.
I did. Speaking of finishing the story, my number 3 event is WrestleMania 39, specifically.
What?
Night 2.
What? You picked a WWE show even though you don't like it?
For one reason, my friend.
Roman? Oh, I was going to say Roman beating Cody?
No.
You alright, cut?
You alright, cut? There is not a single wrestling moment that has carried me through the hard times this year.
I feel like that really united everyone at the beginning of the year.
Right. So, like, I looked at other people's lists and I see a lot of them put in WrestleMania Night 1. You're wrong. Because Night 2 had the single greatest celebrity performance at a WrestleMania ever.
Miz getting slugged by Snoop.
Listen, I know this might be a silly answer. I swear to you, I'm not taking the piss out of this category. No moment has got me through more enjoyment. Like, I think about it, I smile. I've watched it a bunch of times. We showed Michelle. I genuinely love that fucking moment, unironically.
Yeah.
I was so impressed with Snoop for doing it. Miz helped him out, like all of that. Like that was an absolute shit situation.
It sure was,
and they turned it into fucking gold.
Yeah.
And the rest of the show's good. WrestleMania was good this year. WrestleMania is pretty much good every year. But that moment alone elevates this because it legit, I get so happy. It's an all-time WrestleMania moment for me. And you don't get them every fucking year. I loved it. That's my number 3. WrestleMania 39, Night 2 specifically.
Fuck yeah. All right, so my number 2 comes from February 21st of 2023.
Okay.
You might look at me a little sideways, but also might not be surprised by it. Pro Wrestling Noah.
Oh.
Keiji Muto Grand Final Pro Wrestling Last Love Holdout.
All right, I like it.
I cried during this.
Sure. Right.
I'm trying not to right now.
It's your dude.
It's my favorite ever.
Yeah.
Staying up and watching this and just getting very emotional during it was wild. Seeing my favorite ever finally hang it up. No matter what the fuck you say, Ed, I love you to death. I love you, but no, you're wrong about him.
Right.
Just to see him kind of ride off in the sunset, man, was
and have a baby.
Yes, was great Sakuya, my new favorite wrestler. You had some other good matches on this.
Yeah, it was a good show for sure.
You had Hiromu Takahashi versus Amakusa. You had this was Okada punking Kaito Kiyomiya to the fucking death.
Yes,
just making him his bitch for 16 minutes. Naito versus Muto. Again, Muto's last holdout. You and I remember texting you during this being like, holy fuck, he's going up for the moonsault. He's going to do it. And he just didn't do it. And then the moment Muto giving Chono his last little match afterwards. Chono putting the STF on Muto. Muto walking out. This happened at the Tokyo Dome. There was over 30,000 people there.
Yep.
I loved it, man. It really, this was probably the most emotional I got during wrestling this year.
Yeah.
So this is my number 2.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
If it was a pay-per-view where Terry was like, I'm out, there's no way it wouldn't be on my list too.
Exactly.
I absolutely get it. My number 2 is Wrestle Dream.
Okay, fuck yeah.
Wrestle Dream from October 1st. Sort of a last minute thing. Everyone thought TK was throwing together some nonsense. And he really pulled it off. So we get on the pre-show Claudio Josh Barnett, which I thought was a ton of fun.
When Barnett tried booking himself into another book in there, brother.
Sure did. How'd that work out? But you get Eddie Kingston Shibata, which is a good match. You get Statlander Julia Hart, which sort of sets everything into motion there. the Young Bucks stuff is fine, but Strickland Hangman, which sets everything into motion there, right? Starks Wheeler. Highlight of it for me, Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr.
What the fuck are you talking Punk Kojima, man? Come on. Kojima elbow dropped him in the dick.
That's true.
You got the fucking lariats, Kojima, and Punk screaming in the camera, that's for you, D.
Yeah. So,
come on.
Was that at WrestleDream?
Yeah, Punk Kojima. Because that's when Kenta was too much of a coward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's funny. The Wikipedia listing has Kojima in the in like a mixed tag match.
That was Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
Okay, my fault. That's on me. Hand up, brother.
I was like, oh shit,
that's
am I wrong?
Punk was already gone from the company by then.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You get
that's on me.
FTR Aussie Open, which was great. And the main event was Christian Darby in that 2 out of 3 falls match, which was fucking awesome.
Fucking awesome. Oh, that's where Ed showed up, right?
Yeah, fucking awesome. So,
all right, that's on me.
So there you go.
Hand up, brother.
So that's my number 2, WrestleDream. Seemed to be a mess and really got pulled together. And Dragon, Zack Sabre Jr. was sort of the second match that everyone was waiting for Dragon to have. Yeah. And it was fucking great. So yeah. And we'll see. Well, I mean, it doesn't make my list, but it was a very close for later. But anyway.
So my number 1,
yes,
this is from April 23rd of 2023.
Okay.
We talked about this when it happened and saying, I really don't know if this event's going to be able to be topped. Mm-hmm. This is Stardom All-Star Grand Queendom.
Oh.
So this was my number 1.
Wow.
I went back and I looked at the card, and the last 5 matches was such a crazy fucking run.
Yep.
So you had...
Man, I didn't even consider this for my list. I feel like an idiot.
You had the Artists of Stardom, the 6-woman tag restart. That was Kairi, Natsupoi, and Soraya Now beat Prominence for the belts. You had Mina Shirakawa beat Saya Kamatani for the Wonder of Stardom belt. You had Sayuri beat Chihiro Hashimoto by knockout. You had Mayu Iwatani beat Mercedes Moné for the IWGP Women's title, and then you had Tam Nakano
she was never heard from again.
You had Tam Nakano beat Julia for the World of Stardom title. The last 5 matches on that show, I would put that up against any show.
Yeah, they were awesome.
You're going to give me 5 matches in a row that are just absolute bangers. It's going to be hard to beat.
For sure.
Like Wrestle Kingdom 9, that was like a crazy run, but for me this year, that and it really sparked oh man, I really do need to watch more Stardom, you know?
Sure.
So that's going to be my my number 1 show this year.
Okay.
How about you?
I think a surprise to no one. This was, and for a second I thought this is where you were going. A show that this is the second annual version of this, and a show that I think a lot of people thought that the first ever edition couldn't be beat. Forbidden Door.
Okay, there you go.
I think the first Forbidden Door was such a huge success, and a lot of people were like, well, what the fuck are you going to do on a second one then? And the second one's fucking awesome. They really did really great stuff again, all over the place. You had MJF Tanahashi. This has Punk Kojima, Cassidy in the 4-way with Sabre Jr., Shibata, and Garcia. Some kid named Jack Perry. I don't know whatever happened to him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Elite Blackpool Combat Club, Tony Storm Willow, Osprey Kenny, in what will probably, unfortunately, be the last great Omega match.
Okay.
He had good ones after.
We'll talk.
But we'll see. But this might like I'm talking like the legendary Kenny Omega New Japan matches. This is in the running for what could possibly be the last great one. I hope it's not, but who knows? Sting, Darby, and Naito teaming up, which is fucking bizarre.
Yeah,
and then the match that everyone's been waiting for that we missed last year. Dragon Okada.
Yeah, Danielson breaking his arm 11 minutes into the fucking match.
Yes.
You psychopath.
And goes 16, right. So,
oh, man.
Yeah.
Great choice.
I love that show. Both years they've run it, and it's just always sort of top of my mind because it does also, even if the matches aren't necessarily great, like you're definitely right, like it doesn't have the 5-match ending run like that Stardom show does, but you get like weird dream matches that you never thought you wanted. So it's cool. It's always fun. And it's hard.
Great choice.
It's hard too because like we've been this year and last year like watching it with friends.
Yeah.
So even that is like, well, all these shows are awesome. How the fuck do I pick one?
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree with you, man.
But that's my number one.
Perfect. So we got some contributions from some dear friends of ours, and thank you guys so much.
It's
for
awesome.
Sending your list over.
It's really cool to see the people submit shit.
So I'm going to do it in order that I've got them. Number one, this is from Sweet Ed Cody.
Yeah, he was the first one. Yeah, he was the first one.
Hayabusa fame.
Wow, really motivating Ed.
His top 3 events. I saw one of the 3.
Yeah.
880 Wrestling, Brohemoth's End of Summer Bash.
Okay.
AIW Wrestle Rager 7.
Sure.
And ROH Super Card of Honor.
Interesting that you pick a Ring of Honor show. Didn't expect that.
That was the one where Claudio beat Eddie. Mm-hmm. That's where Samoa Joe beat Mark Briscoe.
Right.
And I remember being so mad at the end of it. So those are Ed's.
Yep.
Another one we got was from our dear friend Silverthorne. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Events are Forbidden Door 2.
Apparently this one was a secret from me, so
hey.
whatever.
Forbidden Door 2.
Okay.
G1 2023 in parentheses. That's a single event, right?
Yes.
Sure.
We'll allow it.
And
for Silverthorne, I'll allow it.
And Backlash 2023 in Puerto Rico.
People really like that's a popular one on people's lists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, Mr. Dwicky. Mr. Kincannon. And a lot of these are in no particular order.
6th man of the soon-to-be-named network.
Yeah. Top 3 events, AEW Wrestle Dream.
Okay. Right there.
WWE Elimination Chamber.
Okay. Couldn't tell you a single thing that happened on it.
I don't remember any.
Okay.
Oh, that was Sammy Roman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we even watched that.
Yeah, we
together.
did. Yeah.
And ROH Final Battle.
This is like just from...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
I also like it.
It was a good show.
Next up, Mr. Tim. So, number 3, AEW New Japan Forbidden Door.
Okay.
Number 2, WrestleMania 39 Night 1.
Wrong night.
And number 1, AEW Full Gear.
Okay.
So, me and Tim had a little crossover.
A little bit.
On that. Thank you, Tim. Thank you for making me feel not like a complete idiot.
Okay.
That's not true because I picked all out.
You did pick all out.
Fuck you, Tim. I love you, Tim.
Now we're both against you.
I'm sorry, Tim. No, I'll never be against you. Next up, one Mr. Joe Sposta.
Oh, the Godfather of Soon-to-be-named network.
We have AEW Forbidden Door.
Right, because right there.
AEW Wrestle Dream.
Right there.
And WWE Backlash.
Oh, everybody loving Backlash.
And then another contributor, Mr. Marcus from Final Wrestling Place. Okay. So he did put them in order.
That's why I like him so much better than his co-host.
Tim put it in order too.
No.
Take it back. Honorable mention, WrestleMania Sunday, The Miz versus Shane McMahon / Snoop Dogg. You all right, cut?
That's right, brother. Absolutely. 100%.
Number 3, WWE Backlash.
Everybody loves that Backlash, man.
Number 2, AE.
Did we watch Backlash, or did I just watch pieces of Backlash?
You didn't. You only watched. Yeah, I watched it the next day.
Yeah,
because I think I was at. Or no, I didn't watch it because I was the Bad Bunny. That's when he showed up. I watched it the next day.
That match.
I watched it after I got home because I went to the Sixers game the next day.
Oh, okay.
So I watched when I got home that night. Number 2. AEW, there it is. Number 2, AEW All Out.
Okay.
So, there we go. There's a little fucking crossover.
And the Wembley show, not on anybody's list.
You look back, it's an okay show.
It was good. The spectacle was better than the show, though.
And number 1, WrestleMania Saturday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, wrong day, but whatever. Move that to your honorable mention. Move Sunday up to your number 1. And we have a deal.
You I could. All right, so
Figaro. Sorry, little dog in me.
You got that dog in you.
I do.
Next one I'm going to do is top 3 news stories.
Okay.
My number 3, and it's just so recent that it seems a little bit of a cop out, but it's not.
Okay.
Tanahashi becoming New Japan president.
That's my number 3.
Look at that shit.
It had to be.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
It's not unprecedented for a wrestler to become, president. But like we talked about like Fujinami, but like I don't think Fujinami was active.
No, it was 19 years ago.
He's still active, quote unquote. But to have an active wrestler as beloved as Tanahashi in that role, I think it's a really smart move. And we talked about it already at the beginning of the show, so we don't have to go back into that. But yeah, I think that's a really huge news story. Yeah, for sure.
Perfect crossover.
Look at that.
Number 2. The year of Phil.
My number 2 is also CM Punk.
Look at that shit. We're fucking
just CM Punk, just as a whole.
CM Punk.
I think you can't deny the news cycle that he's been a part of this year.
Can't.
It's just my opinion on him one way or the other. He created most of the most interesting news this year, good or bad.
Good or bad.
He's been all over it.
Dude's a fucking lightning rod, man.
Right, the dude has got people talking. He's created interest and intrigue, and aggravation everywhere he went.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just what it is. He's
CM Punk.
Phil Brooks is himself the number 2 biggest news story of the year in professional wrestling.
That's crazy. That we're talking about that in 2023. Wow, that's like 5 years ago. You'd say, nah, no fucking way.
Right. He's getting 5 years ago. He's knocked out by Mickey Gall.
Choked out.
Whatever.
Rise, Phil, rise. Number 1.
Do you want to just say it together?
Well, I don't know how you're going to say it.
Okay.
But Vince gone, WWE sold.
The sale of WWE.
Absolutely.
Number 1.
Yeah, it's the number 1. Like industry shattering.
Yeah.
The merger is crazy.
If somebody was to come up and say to me this in 2023, it doesn't matter if it was December of 2022, you said this to me, no matter what time before it happened, you said, I'll bet you $1 million that WWE gets sold and McMahon doesn't own it anymore.
Yeah.
And I would say, I'll take that bet every fucking time.
Absolutely.
There's no way WWE is not run by a McMahon for the rest of its fucking existence.
Yeah.
Owned, ran is subjective, I guess. There's a Helmsley McMahon running it right now, but
Levesque.
Yeah, but it's just the craziest fucking thing.
It really is.
The merger into TKO, Vince coming back, Vince leaving, like that. The whole situation surrounding that is one of the biggest news stories in wrestling history.
Yeah, like Vince coming in, them realizing, we really don't need you here. And he sold almost all his shares.
Yeah,
did
he?
Yeah, there was a big thing. He sold a bunch of his shares. That's look at you and I. That's
1B, Vince's mustache. But anyway,
so
those are the 3 biggest for sure.
So Ed, top 3 stories again, not in order or anything. Max Landis at the Circle 6 shows WrestleMania weekend,
of course.
Tanahashi, New Japan president.
Nice, good job, Ed.
And Sally from Wrestle Queerdom did not win the Netflix Squid Game competition.
Okay.
You're gonna have to you're gonna have to tell me more because I don't know what the fuck you mean.
We'll talk about it in Philly.
Yeah. News stories from Silverthorne. All of Adam's future ex-wives getting pregnant in the same year. WWE getting sold to Endeavor.
Right.
And Vince removed from creative.
Ooh, okay. That's cool. Good. Splitting that up. I like it. Vince getting removed from creative and then strong-arming his way back in and then selling the company and then being told you're not needed.
Yeah.
It is pretty fucking wild.
From Kincannon, we have AEW announces the Continental Classic.
Okay, I like it.
Eddie Kingston added to the G1 lineup.
Great news. Yeah, absolutely.
And CM Punk fired from AEW, hired by WWE.
Right. That whole Phil debacle.
You call it a debacle, I called it an enhancement.
Well.
From Tim, number 3, Sting announces his retirement.
Aw.
Number 2, the good, bad, and ugly of AEW All In.
Okay.
Which is a stadium show.
Right.
Which immediately got overshadowed by Phil beating up Jack Perry.
Right, that's the Brawl In, right?
Yeah.
Or Brawl Out.
No, this is this year.
Oh, yeah, right. Brawl Out
the stadiums, yeah.
Oh, right. He caused all that issue last year.
Yeah, he only beat up his co-workers last year, too.
Yeah,
that's
why fire him? It was last year's deal. Clean slate.
And number 1, Vince McMahon sells WWE to Endeavor.
That's just what it is. It's fucking crazy.
From Joe, TKO WWE UFC merger.
Okay.
Phil leaves AEW. Phil goes home.
Oh, 2 different news stories there. Okay. All right.
And for Marcus,
Phil goes home, but not to his wife.
Don't you do that. You could go on that channel if you want, pal. Marcus, top 3 news stories.
Yeah.
Number 3, TV rights.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is... we're going to be talking about it a lot in 2024.
Halfway through 2024, that's going to take over the everything.
Yeah. Number 2, Phil.
Okay.
Just Phil.
Yep.
And
that's mine just as CM Punk.
And number 1, WWE Cell.
Yeah, it's right.
Yeah.
Good list, everybody.
Proud
of you.
Yeah. Yeah. Great job, everyone.
Good job, everybody.
All right. Next one.
Oh, sorry. I have a. Hold on. I'm getting word into my headphones here really quick. Last minute addition.
Oh, okay.
To the top 3 news stories. Dare I say top 4 news story? You can place this wherever you want. I'm hearing word right now. Breaking news. Scooping and booping. Jan Spears has left AEW. Everybody.
Oh no. I was wondering where you're going to try to fit
Fuck
that in.
that guy forever. Get out of my fucking company. Get out. Leave the fucking business. Haven't you won enough that you at least
him and Peyton Royce are having another
right?
baby
You're
already.
a 2-time confirmed sex haver with Peyton Royce.
Number 1, congrats on the sex.
Right. Get the fuck out of my wrestling. Fuck out of
Go
here.
be a father.
Right.
All right. So
hopefully your kid never has shitty haircuts like you did your whole fucking career.
oh me, oh my. Next one that I have is top 3 wrestlers to watch for 2024.
Okay.
My number 3,
Yes.
Willow Nightingale.
Oh, Willow.
I'm putting a lot of fucking faith into Tony Khan.
Yes.
Please, please, please
Yeah.
have her win the women's title this year at some point.
I think you have to.
Please, I'm begging you.
Not on my list only because I don't have faith, but I hope so.
Well, I guess it would be nice.
Yes.
You're number 3.
Jesus Christ.
Get the fuck up.
I have 4 here, but I'm going to cheat with
that's
my,
okay.
I'm going to cheat with my number 2 because they almost kind of go together.
All right.
But my number 3 is Shooter Umino.
That almost made my list.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Shooter Ospreay was obviously a handing off. Everybody sort of looks at that as like, here you go, kid.
Yeah.
We've sort of discussed Huge Suge and Shooter back and forth this year. I just think that they've given a better platform to Shooter at the end of the year here. So I think Shooter's gonna win a title. I think they're gonna start to mold him. I think they have the best sort of shot of selling him as so young to a crowd. Suge is gonna have a great year too. Ren Narita might as well go fuck off. They ruined him. Maybe Tanahashi can save him, but Shooter, I think Shooter's gonna have a good fucking year. All
right. Well, that's funny you mentioned it because my number 2 is Big Suge,
nice.
Yoda Suji.
Okay.
I think
they're both gonna have big years.
I think I think before the end of the year, you will see him holding the IWGP Heavyweight title.
He's win the heavyweight. Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he needs to be the one to usurp Naito.
I think
if Naito wins the belt at Wrestle Kingdom, he needs to be the one to beat him. Again, the old classic story. I'm going to put Old Yeller out
and the
out
new
of his
leader
misery,
of
I'm taking over.
Yeah.
Naito can go off into the sunset, do his retirement because he's been talking about it for a few years, and I think this is. Suji's the guy.
So it's the right way to do it, and then give it to Suge within the next 6 months, and then have Shooter take a run at it.
Absolutely, I would love that. Agreed, 100%.
Let's see if you really want to name them the Three Musketeers. There's your Chono Muda.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Right.
Absolutely, I agree with you 100% on that.
My number 2, I'm going to combine 2 people because they kind of go together.
Okay.
And I wanted Shooter because I didn't want all AEW people on here. I wanted to try and diversify a little bit. But Brody King and Julia Hart.
Nice. Good choice.
I think Julia winning the title is a great thing for her. But her improvement in such a short amount of time, she's only going to continue, I hope. And I think, like FDR said and we talked about earlier, Brody and her sort of, and they're still in the House of Black, but they're sort of a unit. Brody seconds her to the ring.
Yeah.
I think they're going to continue to do that.
He's like Big Brother.
And Brody low key might, like, outside of like the guys we knew were going to do really well and win shit, Brody low key probably had the best C2 out of anybody.
I agree.
Right? He's the guy that when you looked at it on paper was like lowest or second lowest on the totem pole, who ended up almost winning a bracket.
Yeah.
And his matches have been fucking cool, and clearly the old guard like him a lot.
Yep.
So those two I think are they're really gonna storm up 2024. Pretty cool in AEW.
Great. That's a great choice. My number one, Swerve Strickland.
Swerve, mine too.
It's Swerve.
He almost didn't make my list.
So I was very going back and forth with it because
he's already there.
He's there, but he's not.
But right,
he's not there.
Right,
yet.
He needs to watch because, and we talked about this before. He needs that. If he's not champion in the next 3 months, if he's not champion by, we already said this, but if he's not champion by the next fucking pay-per-view,
by Revolution
that's
at the
your
latest.
cutoff.
Yeah,
then you did it wrong.
Yeah,
he needs to be champion at Revolution at the latest, and then you move on.
Yep.
Like you move him down the road to start working towards Osprey. It has to happen.
Yeah.
Sooner the better. I think. I don't want to, like, if Joe wins it, I don't want to, like, if Joe wins it, you give Joe a month or two. If Max retains, do it in a month. Like, get Swerve that title within a month.
Do it on Wednesday.
Right. Yes.
Right. Start the year off on Wednesday.
If Max survives Joe, he needs to limp his ass out to the ring, and Swerve just needs to railroad him.
Yep.
Just right through him.
Yeah.
It's just Swerve.
It has to happen.
He's got to be champion. There's nobody else. I know the beginning of this year, we were like, Eddie needs to beat Max in New York, and I'm still fine with that.
Yeah.
Eddie's getting his fucking flowers, right? And they basically made a Continental Classic for Bryan Danielson to get his G1 before he retires, and for Eddie Kingston to get his fucking flowers.
Yeah.
Swerve needs to win that fucking world title.
Has to.
It's just what it is.
That's why I just got a notification on that. Eddie Kingston just started a live video on Instagram. I kind of want to tune
Jesus
in, but
Christ.
we'll let it go for now.
Yeah.
All right. So from Young Sweet Ed,
Yeah.
there's 3 to watch for 2024.
Okay.
Takeshi Masada.
Of course. Wait, Ed, did you misinterpret what we meant by watch? How are you watching them, Ed? From afar, Ed. From afar.
Who the fuck was it? Was it Craigie that responded to Ed's tweet about us going to see him? And he's like, I hope you need to learn security in Japanese. That's amazing. The fourth line, which is Casey Warren, Brandon St. James.
Okay.
I think that's from that 880 Wrestling Watches.
Sure.
And Vic Weiss.
Vic Venom?
I wish it was.
Okay.
Ed, again, you're going to have to explain this to us.
Old Double V.
Double V.
Ed lives in a different world. And I you know what? I love him more for it.
For Silverthorne, Julia Hart.
Okay, great.
This one almost made my list.
Okay.
Julia.
Oh.
Because all the talk about her contract is up.
You want to talk about the bidding war 2024. Yeah.
And one they put here, and I was very
Yeah.
And they even put a question mark after this. Big E.
Oh.
Big E question mark.
Silverthorne thinking outside the box.
I know. They are.
Yeah.
They're thinking.
That's way more thought than I put into this.
Right?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a great list.
Yeah. So Kincannon.
You're off my non-existent shit list, Silverthorne. I love you.
Oh. Kincannon, 3 to watch for 2024. Will Ospreay in his new home.
Okay. Interesting. Right. Yeah, for sure.
Swerve, does he get a world title run?
Fucking better.
L.A. Knight, how high can his star rise?
Yeah. That was loud. I don't know. Wake up my wife. I mean, he's already got the key to the city. What else do you need?
I mean,
We
really.
don't even talk about that in the news.
I'm sure Ad-Odds will cover that.
Right. That's true.
They might play the whole 20-minute press
We have to ask
conference.
permission to talk about LA Knight on this show, and we forgot to ask this week.
So from Tim,
Yeah.
number 3, Daniel Garcia.
Okay, interesting. You should have a big year.
Number 2, Oba Femi, which is an NXT.
Sure, I understand that's a name.
I don't know who that is.
Nope.
If you want to pull it up, go ahead. First name, Oba.
First name, last name.
Last name, Femi.
Femi.
So, OBA, FEMY.
Oh, all
I think
right.
I've seen this person before.
That's a cool looking dude.
Would they wear a shirt that Will Hobbs just recently had come out for them?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And
Look at the legs. That's a lower body business, of course. I mean, it's upper body business too, but that lower body.
Tim, you're gonna have to give us some learning.
I know nothing about this man, but that's
number one.
he played for Alabama.
Oh, Bama. Number one, Mark Briscoe.
Okay, what are we watching him do? Oh, it's singles run.
Yeah.
He's a rookie. It's a good call.
Yeah.
I like it. I love Mark. I always watch Mark.
You're giving it to Tim.
Oh,
man.
Tim fucking
poor
opening
Tim.
up to himself.
So Joe's 3 to watch for 2024.
Yeah.
Josh Bishop. Every year should be his year.
Okay.
Julia Hart.
Right.
And Alex Hammerstone. So I believe Hammerstone.
He left MLW.
But didn't he come back and he's like part of Broski's little
so.
WTF stable now?
Sure.
I don't know.
Whatever.
And then for Mr. Marcus, we have number 3, Willow Nightingale.
Okay.
Undeniable presence and unique. She's going to get a run and make TK more money.
Willow rules.
Number 2, the Creed Brothers.
Creed Brothers rule.
Counting them as the first farm-to-table NXT WWE tag team under the DX Office era.
Okay.
I think
DX Office.
I think we'll be telling how Triple H handles them as elevating and highlighting tag team wrestling has been a party platform for Triple H.
Okay.
They just had a tag title match on Raw. I believe it was last week.
I like that DX.
The DX Office.
Waldman's at home.
Yeah.
The DX Office, because Road Dogg is there too, right? They're running WWE, and Billy Gunn's just yeeting little guys all over the fucking TV. Amazing.
Also, to in parentheses for Marcus's 3 to watch, he put, I went with people who might actually do something, not tag guys working a singles match or lower card guys who will be given the chance to go with a 3-segment 4-star TV match that won't matter.
Wow. Is that a shot at his partner there?
No. And number 1, Ricky Starks.
Ooh,
watch
where he signs.
My man is finna get paid by somebody.
Yeah, of course. And it's gonna be WWE.
It should.
Right, it's gonna be Cody Rhodes personally
getting stuck with Jericho. Get Ricky run, Ricky run.
Yeah, I want to amend my list with Jericho. I want to watch Jericho walk out of the business. I also want to amend my news story again. Breaking news: Jericho's wife is unhinged. She unlocked her Twitter.
Good lord, dude!
Fucking maniac. What do you expect from a woman who's spent the last 30 years knowing that her husband's been running around on her?
Oh, it's so insane. All right.
Yes.
We have 3 categories left.
Okay.
And I'm going to give
3. Okay. Matches,
wrestlers, and bold prediction.
Okay. Well, we'll do bold prediction at the end.
Yeah. So we'll do wrestlers.
Okay.
I almost went honorable mentions, and I must have deleted and put in names and deleted 5 times
I
today.
have one honorable mention.
What's your honorable mention?
My honorable mention is Orange Cassidy.
Okay.
Orange Cassidy had a fantastic year. His run with the international title has been amazing. His feud with Mox was great. But then they didn't know what the fuck to do with him after we won it back, and they've cooled him off. And I think that's made people forget a little bit how great the beginning of his year was. Yeah. So he's my honorable mention. My
number 5.
Yes.
And I went very back and forth on if they're too low on the list, but I'm going with him.
Okay.
Eddie Kingston.
Okay.
Eddie's my number 5.
Okay.
Eddie getting that Japan run.
Yeah.
Eddie's Continental Classic. Anything Eddie does, I watch.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never skip over Eddie Kingston.
Right.
That Japan run in July, man.
Yep.
Was just so magical to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And he's so fucking over with the
really
crowd,
is,
dude.
Yes.
So my number 5 is Eddie Kingston.
Okay. My number 5, a little controversial, not for being on the list, but where I positioned him, only because I think he is doing better than most people. Not a ton of matches, really good matches when he has them, not a ton. But my number 5 is the patriarch himself. Christian.
Oh, Christian Cage.
Christian is showing everybody how to fucking do it. Christian's probably having the best year of his career.
Yeah.
But it's not a ton of in-ring stuff. When he does it, it's great, right? But he is running these shows storyline and character-wise. He is part of the reason, I think, maybe subconsciously, why Max people don't buy into Max so much, because you see what a real good heel looks like. I'm not super hot on the Edge stuff. I don't think it's utilizing all of them as well as they can, but I'm excited for the match. But my number 5 is Christian, just killing it with this patriarch stuff. Really, really fucking great job.
I mean, I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah.
Number 4, and this might be a little surprising to you.
Okay.
Rhea Ripley.
Oh.
That match.
Ruby Ripples.
That match, her winning the Rumble.
Yeah.
The match with Charlotte at Mania was what a lot of people consider maybe the best women's match under WWE ever.
Okay. I like it.
And she has become like the focal point of Judgment Day. Mm-hmm. Everything she does, she's involved in so much with Judgment Day.
Yeah.
And is this maybe like the first time a woman has really been the focal point in a lot of the show?
Yeah.
You know? Sure. I love her.
Remember when they brought her up to WrestleMania just to lose to Charlotte over and over again?
Sure do.
What a fucking shithouse that was.
And she recovered.
She did.
She absolutely
Very
recovered.
talented. I just realized now that my top 5 wrestlers is extremely sexist because I do not have a woman on it. What a piece of shit I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll go
Good pick, though.
Tell Michelle.
Yeah, well, good pick.
Number 4 for you.
This is going to be a surprise to you because, again, you say you don't even watch the product, and I don't. My number 4 is Gunther.
I'm not going to argue that. Because when you do watch the product, you mainly watch Gunther.
I mainly watch Gunther.
Yeah.
And the fact that he broke the only titles that are longer are like San Martino and Hogan's runs, right?
Yeah. Backlund too.
Yeah, Backlund. Breaking the IC title is a huge deal. The run.
Absolutely.
And as much as I love the Honkinator, it's a big fucking deal. And, if there's a wrestler that I'm going to tune into in all of the WWE, it's going to be Gunther. Because he wrestles the way I like wrestlers to wrestle. And he's had a lot of great matches, but he's held that Intercontinental title for a long time, and that title was twisted in the wind for a long fucking time in that company. And if he's able to restore even an eighth of the prestige that title fucking deserves, he deserves to be on this list. So, Gunther.
Good choice. My number 3, the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson.
Right? Incredible wrestling year.
He just goes out and proves over and over and over again. He is probably the best to ever do this. I'd have him at number 3 because he did miss some time with the injuries, multiple injuries this year, which bums me out.
Right, and we know it's his last year.
Yeah, and I already want to pencil him in as number 1 for next year.
Yeah.
I'm going Bryan Danielson. Okay. He just gets better with age, and he just shows you that he is that motherfucker.
For sure.
That's my number 3.
My number 3 is Eddie Kingston.
Okay.
Eddie gets New Japan title. Eddie gets his world title in Ring of Honor.
Yep.
And a dude doesn't deserve it more, right? A dude it was his goal that he manifested, that he probably, in the back of his head, he was telling himself it was never going to happen, right? Eddie's run in AEW, I think about it all the time. Like, it sounds like a really good wrestling promo, but like when he comes out to wrestle Cody on his debut and he's like, he literally sold his boots. Like he was literally done. Yep. And he gets this opportunity and fucking kills it and has killed it since, the stuff with Claudio, and then they run it back this year and he gets the title, and, he does the New Japan Strong stuff. He's beating Jay White, who was coming off being IWGP champion. Like, Eddie's had an incredible year for a dude that almost everybody has written off, right? And just the fact that he's going to win the title, he's winning the title, he's won his 2 titles. I'm telling you, Tony fucking Khan, like he's going to win the Continental Class, like he's going to become the Western Triple Crown, like he's going to end this year in the best way possible for him and for us. And he's just his performance in the Continental Classic they've been fucking amazing. He's also spent the year wrestling people that he's Shibata and all these other fucking people that he's been having great matches with. Just Eddie. He's on your list too. It's Eddie.
Yeah.
He's fucking undeniable, man. What a year.
Yep. My number 2.
Yes.
Jon Moxley.
Oh, Mox, great pick.
He just continues to prove he is the workhorse. I know, like he's saying, I'm the ace of the world, bitch.
Yeah.
He is. The stuff between AEW, New Japan, stuff he like shows up at Indies and does.
Incredibly consistent wrestler.
It just keeps showing, some people want to talk about Harley Race and Terry Funk.
When did he go to rehab? Was that this year?
No, it was last year.
That was in the last year?
Some people want to talk about it. Dude just does it.
Right.
Night in, night out.
Absolutely.
All right, get on my fucking back. Oh, somebody's hurt. All right, I'm here.
Absolutely.
Whatever you need me to do.
Yep.
Give the man a vacation, for the love of God.
Right.
Who's your number 2?
My number 2, penciled in for next year's number 1 already, Swerve Strickland.
Okay.
The dude showed what he has and who he is.
And that he can overcome bad booking.
Right. And that he can work his way through bad booking.
Bring back Trench.
He can do all that shit. And it finally lands for him. He bulked up a little bit. He didn't chicken and rice it, but he bulked up a little bit. Maybe just the rice. I don't know.
Yeah.
But just a phenomenal year. A must-watch guy. Your eyes are immediately drawn to him. We've said this. Other people have said it. We're reading all their stuff. Number 2 to rise to number 1 next year for me. I really think that. Swerve is a phenomenal talent. And even like, I don't know the timeline exactly, but the fact that like, it must have been last year when like WWE tried to tamper with him.
I think
it was
so.
last year, but like to spend this year very firmly saying like, you could have had me, look at me now and you ain't ever going to get me again.
Yep.
And even if he goes back, if you chase
Never
the
say
money,
never.
never say never. We've learned that this year, right? But never say never, but yeah, just a unbelievable year out of Swerve. That's going to get better next year.
Yeah.
Better get better next year.
I almost penciled him in here. But when I put him on my 3 to watch,
Yeah.
I was kind of like, I don't want to put him on both, but it was very close.
Yeah.
My number 1,
I'm very nervous about your number 1.
if you've been listening to the show since the beginning of this year,
Still makes me nervous about your number 1.
I scream the praises. I think he's just completely changed his fucking game. Will Ospreay.
My number 1 is also Will Ospreay.
It's just you can't deny
I've said on the show a
man.
bunch of times, not my guy. I've liked him more this year than I've ever liked him. But look at who he's beat this year.
Look at his track record.
And you
this year.
cannot deny that he has been booked and has performed as the best wrestler in the world.
Absolutely.
I was so afraid that CM Punk was going to be your number 1.
Oh, no.
Because CM Punk is the news guy, right?
Sure.
But he missed a lot of this year.
Yeah, and that's like,
Right.
last year
I
we
was
both
worried.
had Punk
Yeah,
on our list
right.
because he had a nice
Right.
run.
Absolutely.
But he had too much time missed and all the other shit.
Ospreay is, like him or not, I've said it before, like he's slowly turning me, but he has had a wrestler of the year. It's just what it is. He's beaten Okada, Omega. Like just run the fucking list.
Yeah.
Right? He had that
Jericho.
handoff. Right. He had that handoff match with Umino.
Yeah.
Like he just has fucking delivered.
Marufuji.
Right. And then on top of all that, even though he's not debuting, he changes his life and signs a contract that's going to take care of his family for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
It's just what it is. It's just straight up what it is. He's having a god run this year.
Yeah.
And there's potential for him to be number 1 next year too. We'll see what he does in AEW. It's gonna be tough, but when he comes into AEW finally, he's your number 1 guy.
I agree. I would say so.
It's just what it is.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
So for Ed, no particular order. Takeshi Masada,
Of course.
Katsuhiko Nakajima,
Yeah.
Swerve,
Okay.
Madman Pondo,
Of course.
and
How is he not on my list? What an overlook by me.
and Magnum CK.
Okay, cool. Made his return this year.
Yeah.
Or recently or whatever. Yeah.
So for Silverthorn, no particular order. Eddie Kingston,
Okay.
Swerve, Willow, Orange Cassidy,
Great list.
Mark Briscoe.
Like it.
I thought that was very solid as well.
What an emotional year for Mark Briscoe. That's a really good call.
Yeah. For Dwicky, we have. Dwicky, you didn't give your top wrestlers for the year.
No?
No. I just noticed that. Dwicky.
Womp womp.
Dwicky.
1 through 5 Will Ospreay.
Yeah, for Dwicky, okay. Sure.
I made it up for him.
Perfect.
Yeah.
For Joe, top 5, and in parentheses, I can't really put in order. Eddie, Danielson, LA Knight, OC,
Right.
Swerve.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the right answer.
For Tim, we have, in order, number 5, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Okay, I like it. Shinsuke, it's great. I'm obviously not going to argue the pick, and I'm not picking on Tim here, believe it or not. Shinsuke would have been a contender if they pulled the fucking trigger with him.
I agree. If they would have pulled the trigger. Number 4, Eddie.
Right.
Number 3, Ospreay.
Okay.
Number 2, MJF.
Okay.
And he I can't believe he is this high on my year-end standings.
I can't either. I would argue he's not on mine. He shouldn't. I don't think he should be on anybody's.
Number 1, Swerve.
Right.
And then for Mr. Marcus, top 5. Number 5, Sting.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep.
He's number 1 meme wrestler. That's why he makes. That's the meme wrestler spot.
Yeah. Number 4, Orange Cassidy.
Okay.
Number 3, Eddie.
Right.
Number 2, Danielson.
Okay.
Number 1, Roman Reigns.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. I would have figured his last year was better than this year, but
yeah, Roman. I think it's mostly because Roman beat Cody at Mania.
Yeah.
And then Cody got a rubber chicken thrown at him.
I don't think there's any wrong answers. I think everybody did a good job.
Yeah.
Even Ed.
Great list. Ed, again, you're going to have to explain some of these people to me. All right. Matches.
Mm-hmm.
This was the one I was looking forward to the most.
Okay. I made some interesting choices here.
I have one.
Some I'm regretting, but I'm going to go with it anyway.
I have one honorable mention.
Okay.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
I don't know.
My one honorable mention.
There's one I removed, but yeah.
Okay. Is Tetsuya Naito Will Ospreay G1 semifinal.
Oh, what a great fucking match that was.
The reason why it almost made it.
Yeah.
That's my honorable mention. Just the atmosphere, 6:00 in the morning, standing in my bedroom, screaming at my television during this match. The Discord was blowing up. I remember, we were going nuts during this. Ospreay fucking putting on a masterclass of, oh, sorry, kicked you in your head too hard. I'm going to walk you through the rest of this.
Yep.
And Naito just turning back the clock and showing I can still deliver.
Could be one of the last great Naitos, too.
Yeah.
I don't know Sonata will rise to that level, and I don't know what could have after that if he wins the belt or whatever. But yeah, it was a great match. That's a good choice.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, so my number 5, this is from Forbidden Door, is Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega.
Okay.
Watching this here with everybody was so awesome.
Yeah.
The famous spot from this is obviously going to be that Tiger Driver that Kenny took the bump. We all gasped when it happened. In Canada, for the IWGP US Heavyweight Championship, Ospreay finally gets the win over Omega. And you said it earlier, and I've been kind of thinking about it, and I do wonder if this will be one of the last great Kenny Omega matches.
I mean, it stinks, but illness could take that away from him.
He had the perfect dance partner.
Yep.
Ospreay, top of his game right now. Best wrestler in the world.
Yep.
Omega they put on a show, man. And that's my number 5. How about you?
My number 5 is your fault.
Uh-oh.
My number 5 is, I don't think this is going to be on anybody else's list.
Okay.
But it was last week we were talking about this. I think it was last week on the show, and that was the week before. Because I have the same problem everybody does when we talk on a podcast. It all leaves me my brain as soon as I say it.
Yeah.
But my number 5 is a match we were in person for.
Match we were in person for.
My number 5 is Athena versus Willow Nightingale.
Oh, see, there you go.
Because we were talking about that match and the buzz, the hum in that joint.
Yeah.
And it was a great show. We had a ton of fun at that show. It was the beginning of the Taguchi travels.
The beginning of you finishing your story.
Right. Me finishing the story. Fuck you, Cody. And just the match rules. The match would be higher on my list if Willow won. It almost didn't make my list because Willow won. The thing that got pushed off the list was Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr.
Okay.
But I don't know that I'll ever hear another arena sound like that and feel like that match.
Yeah.
And so that lifts it up a little bit.
That was special.
But that was a special match, and they should have pulled the trigger there. But it is what it is. But yeah, that's my number 5 from Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor. If they would have
pulled the trigger, I think I would have that on my list. I agree with you.
Really great match.
My number 4 from AEW Revolution.
Okay.
For the world title, Iron Man match, MJF versus Bryan
What a
Danielson.
great match that was. When I was researching, I was like, fuck, that match was real good.
The reason why I have it on here...
The bloody elbows on the turnbuckle?
Dude, the bloody elbows.
Yeah.
An hour Iron Man match that didn't feel like an hour.
Right.
Iron Man matches can be very tricky.
For sure. Hard
This
to do.
did not feel like an hour at all.
Hard to do. Yep.
It really showed MJF can fucking go.
Yeah.
You're and a lot of people say, "Oh, you're in there with Bryan Danielson. He's one of the best. He could walk you through it." MJF held his own, man.
Right.
And MJF has talked about it that was the most hardest he's ever worked out for a match to get ready for an hour with Bryan Danielson.
Hard.
And they didn't slow down. And then they went another 5 minutes after
Yeah.
How crazy.
That was a good fucking match.
This was really what cemented MJF in ring for me.
Right.
And
that was when I was, oh, wait, okay, Max can go.
Yeah. And again, an Iron Man match where I wasn't dreading it. Because
like it.
leading into it, you and I were both guilty of, I don't know if Max can hang.
Yep.
And he showed he can hang.
Right. I will not deny his ability since that match, for sure.
So that's my number 4.
My number 4, maybe suffering from recency bias, could be replaced by what happens at World's End.
And yes, asterisk for the match of the year. Depending on what happens at World's End, we may add some.
But this gets slotted in
next week.
Either I move Willow up or just straight slot in. Eddie Kingston, American Dragon from this week.
Ooh, baby!
The match is fucking awesome, right? In the last 20 years of professional wrestling, these may be the two guys that I like the most. Right, Dragon. I've said it all the time on the show. I remember seeing Dragon for the first time and watching him wrestle and being like, "What the fuck is this? This guy's the best." And Eddie, I've seen since his third match. I've seen Eddie a long fucking time
since the Pleathers.
And so watching all of this and seeing where he's coming, and I talked about him winning the titles and all that, but this, him being able to finish a part of his story, never beaten Dragon. It's a series of things, right? And I thought initially this was Eddie Claudio, because after that happened, I was like, I think that's the best Eddie Kingston match of his fucking career. But I was just so happy that things are falling in place for Eddie, that, he at least makes it to the finals. Because the one thing I've always said about this tournament was if Eddie loses it, I'll get over it. But Eddie has to be able to fight for his titles, or it's not fucking fair.
Yeah.
If he cannot lose these titles without actually losing the match for them. And this gets him there. Eddie Dragon. I fucking loved it.
Hey, great choice. My number 3, you mentioned this before, but you bumped it. And this is from AEW Wrestle Dream. Bryan Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr.
Great match.
I've been wanting this match to happen for years. Everybody's been wanting this match to happen for years.
You know what I'll blame about bumping this? I wanted to test it out and see, and I went to rewatch it on Bleacher Report, and their fast forwarding is so fucking slow that I gave up.
How dare you? Bryan Danielson, Zack Sabre Jr.
Match. Incredible.
One of the best technical matches you ever see, combined with violence at the end.
I'm shocked that Sabre didn't make any of my year because of his fucking run with that TV title.
Yeah.
What a fucking dude. But anyway.
what a dude.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going.
Right.
It lived up to the hype, and I think it exceeded the hype even.
Great answer, yeah.
That's my number 3. How about you?
My number 3 is from an AEW Collision, of all places. Jay White and Juice Robinson versus FTR. Yeah. 2 out of 3 falls match.
Amazing match.
I gotta have a tag match in here, and then that's the best tag match of the year. It's fucking fantastic.
It really was.
2 out of 3 falls again can be tricky, you know. It's a shame that Juice got hurt. I think where maybe Juice doesn't get hurt, we're talking a little different on this list because Juice was on a fucking tear.
I agree.
This tag match is the best tag match of the year for me. FTR ends up on this list a second year in a row. Because they just fucking do it, and
they can go.
I think the Bullet Club has taken a back seat because of the Continental Classic, and that's understandable. But in the new year, I hope we see more Juice and Jay, and this was just great. I really liked it. So
yeah.
Tag matches, baby.
So my number 2, this is where I was so torn.
Okay.
For the longest time, I went back and watched this match last night. And I go, no, this is my number 2. It's not my number 1.
Okay.
From Wrestle Kingdom 17,
Okay.
for the U.S. title, Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay.
Oh.
This is my number 2.
Okay.
I thought this was going to be my number 1 up until my number 1 happened.
Okay.
But I was... Last night I did, after watching the show, I said, I got to go back and watch it and see if it makes me feel different.
You want to hear something funny? My number 2 is Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay.
From Wrestle Kingdom?
I could not pick a match.
No?
So I cheated.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I literally here it was going to be a game time decision of Wrestle Kingdom or Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
I could not make the decision because I think they go to. I think they honestly go together because
they do.
Ospreay, just like last year, I cheated and put all FTR Briscoes on there.
Yeah.
I think they go together because without that first match, you don't get the power of Ospreay beating him the second time.
You know what? You put it that way, and I wish I thought of it like that. Because
I cheated, so it's fine.
There's nothing wrong with that though, because this one was, I think, a little more special to me.
Yeah.
I'm not going to just say because it's in the Dome.
Sure.
But this is Kenny's first match back in New Japan since he left.
Yeah.
This is Ospreay's. Okay, this is my year. I'm going to take it.
Well, and this is the dude. This is the shadow you're in. This is the guy you have to beat.
Yeah.
And he doesn't.
And he doesn't. And this was watching it back. This was surprisingly violent.
Yeah.
When Omega gives Ospreay the DDT on the exposed turnbuckle from the top rope was gross. When Omega has Ospreay's bloody head and just keeps bashing it through a table.
Yes.
Gross. He does the double stomp off the apron through the table, and it's just right onto Ospreay's kidneys. It was disgusting. But Ospreay showed, I can do it. I can hang with this guy.
Yep.
And it was such a good story. And Omega getting the win. And it's funny seeing Don Callis with Omega.
Yeah.
And then you go to Forbidden Door and he's against Omega, So I like your logic with the 2 because
literally just because I couldn't choose.
You don't get the second.
Right. Yeah.
But that's perfect.
Literally couldn't choose.
So number 1.
You wanted to say it together.
AEW Full Gear.
Yeah.
Texas Death.
All the way.
Swerve, Hangman.
Hands down.
It just, man.
Yeah.
There has not been a match.
That might be my match of next year. I might just carry it over.
There hasn't been a match that's made me feel that way in a long time.
Yeah. Special.
Watching it here with Joe and Adam.
Yeah.
And the 4 of us freaking out.
Showing it to Doug.
Yeah, showing it to Doug and him freaking out.
Yeah.
Hangman drinking the blood.
Oh my God, dude.
That is something that I'm never going to forget for as long as I live.
Nope.
I screamed when that happened. And you said it perfectly watching with Doug. You forget, oh fuck, this happens.
Yep.
Oh no, it gets more violent.
Halfway through that match, you're like, okay, I'm exhausted. There's nothing else you could possibly throw at me to make this any better, and they just keep doing it. It's fucking crazy. It's an incredible match. It's just wild.
Yeah.
Just absolutely wild. As soon as it happened.
I watch that once a week.
As soon as it happened, right afterwards, that's my match of the year. Yeah. It's just what it is. And there has not been a contender since it has been solidified. The moment it ended, I was like, match of the year. Yeah. Absolute, hands down match of the year.
I remember Joe just going, boy, these 2 are really in the running for who's the sickest fuck.
Right? Yeah.
It's
just everything. It's everything.
Yeah. That is, I know we've been very high on Swerve.
Sure.
That's the star maker right there, though.
Yep. Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
That's the match of the year for us. Swerve when I drive. Yeah. After the match happened, I looked over at Adam. He starts doing the nod.
Yep.
He, all of us just were captivated by that match.
Swerve was already on that path. But that was the welcome to the show. Okay, you're here. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So from Mr. Ed, no order. Bad Bunny, Damian Priest.
People love that match.
I'll tell you what, man. The atmosphere is like nothing I've ever seen before.
It's really, really good. I do not fault anybody for putting that on their list.
Brock Lesnar versus Omos.
Of course.
Because that's the only match you watched for WrestleMania.
I like it.
Swerve versus Hangman, the one with all the blood.
Right. Correct.
CPA versus Tom Lawler dumpster match.
Okay.
Which I read that and I go,
CPA.
I'm like, is he fucking with
No,
me?
he's
This
not
actually
dead.
happened.
Yeah.
And then CM Punk versus Samoa Joe from All Out.
It was a great match.
It was a great match.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, very underrated.
Uh-huh.
So for Silverthorne, no particular order. Eddie Kingston versus Ishii in the G1.
Great match.
Eddie Kingston versus Brody in the Continental Classic.
Silverthorne coming from a heart.
In parentheses, sorry guys, Young Ed is right. Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest from Backlash.
That's fine. I'm not faulting anybody for that.
Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay from Wrestle Kingdom. And Swerve versus Hangman, Texas Death.
Silverthorne, I adore you. I just want you to know that.
So for Kincannon, no order. Sammy versus Roman from Elimination Chamber.
Okay.
Danielson versus Zack Sabre Jr., Wrestle Dream.
Right. Great match.
FTR versus Bullet Club Gold, 2 out of 3 falls.
Right there. See? Simpatico.
Hangman Swerve, Texas Death.
Right.
And Ospreay Naito, G1 semifinal.
Nice. Yeah, right. Crossover with both of us. Yeah. I adore you too. I adore all these people. You wrote in the show, I adore you.
So,
except for your Tim.
Speaking of Tim, top 5 in order. Number 5, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos from WrestleMania.
Okay, great match for sure.
Number 4, from All Out, Moxley versus OC.
Yeah, great match.
Number 3, from Forbidden Door, Ospreay versus Kenny Omega.
Right.
Number 2, from Backlash, Puerto Rican Street Fight, Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest.
Okay.
Number 1, Texas Death, Swerve Strickland, Hangman Page.
Okay. Yeah. Right. I mean, that's just what it is.
It does feel like this is the running order.
Yeah.
All right, we have Joe's top 5 again.
Joe.
No particular order.
Right.
Danielson MJF Iron Man match from Revolution.
Okay.
Bad Bunny Damian Priest from Backlash.
Right. Everybody loves that.
Eddie versus Danielson from December 2nd Collision.
Okay. The first. They're meeting in the tournament of Continental Classic.
FTR versus Jay Lethal and Double J from Double or Nothing.
Of course. Okay.
And Christian versus Darby from Wrestle Dream.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one that doesn't have it.
Yeah, it's a really great match.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why Wrestle Dream was on my list, but not the match. Yeah.
And then for Marcus, actually, I got it wrong. The honorable mention before for UI Ka was part of the not the events. It was part of this,
match
but
of the year. That's
just
fine.
to bring it up again.
Same
UI
difference.
Ka,
Right. Absolutely.
number 5, All In Stadium Stampede.
Okay.
Eddie Kingston, Orange Cassidy, Dustin Trent, and Penta against BCC and Santana and Ortiz.
Oh, that's cool.
Number 4 from All Out, the strap match, Danielson versus Ricky Starks.
Great match.
Number 3 from Collision, 2 out of 3 falls for the tag titles, FTR versus Juice Robinson and Jay White.
Best tag match of the year.
Number 2, Backlash, San Juan Street Fight, Damian Priest versus the Bad Bunny.
Marcus is the one I would expect that out of. But it's a great match. I'm not trying to say it's awesome. It's really good.
And number 1 for Full Gear, Texas Death Match,
Texas
Hangman
Death is
versus
the best
Swerve.
match of the year. There's just nothing else like it.
Yeah.
There's really nothing else
so,
like it.
What's that? 8 of us? That's 7 of us had it on the list?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Right.
All right, so last category,
Yep.
unless you have a fucking curveball to throw.
I do not.
Bold prediction
Yes.
for 2024.
Yeah.
I'm going to break this into 2 parts.
Okay.
My first part is AEW is going to a new TV network.
Okay.
I don't think them and Warner are going to continue.
Okay.
I don't know where they're going to go, but I think it's going to
Interesting.
new network.
Do you think they go to a lesser network or a parallel move?
I think a parallel move.
Okay.
I just don't know what it is.
All right.
My other prediction involves talent.
Okay.
I think Drew McIntyre goes to AEW,
Okay.
and I think both Julia and Sasha Banks
Yeah.
go to WWE.
Interesting. Okay.
That's my prediction.
Okay.
The Julia one might not be as bold.
Yeah.
And a little.
You don't think Julia goes to AEW?
No.
No?
I think she goes to WWE.
Okay. Even though there's some stardom people in AEW already?
Io's in WWE.
Yeah.
Asuka's in WWE.
Right.
Kyrie's in WWE.
But was she around them? Like.
Kyrie just had a run.
Yeah, but like Asha's been gone for a long time.
Asuka was never in Stardom, but you have like
That's
those
true.
three right there. Io,
Okay.
you know, big influence.
Sure.
So.
I mean, and you have Tony, Mariah May now.
You do, yeah. I think WWE's gonna maybe back the truck up a little bit for her.
Okay. That'd be interesting. I wonder what they do. I wonder what that room looks like.
Yeah, I think that's where it's gonna go.
Okay.
And I just had this on here. My last bold prediction. I think 2024, you will see Brock Lesnar's last match.
Oh, wow!
I think it's going to be the end.
All right. I mean, from a what else is there for him to do standpoint, yeah. Sure.
I think, and he's been talking about it as he's the final boss, and he wants to be the new final boss. Him, Gunther.
Yeah,
and I think Gunther beats him.
Okay.
And Lesnar kind of anoints him as this is you now.
Okay, I like it.
How about yourself?
So my initial bold prediction was Swerve's AEW champ before April, and then I was like, "That's not bold." I was like, "Yeah, we all know that."
Yeah.
I have two here also that are both AEW related. Not it's sort of about a TV deal, but not. I don't know whether or not they're going to lose the Warner deal. I don't know. I think they have a good relationship with Warner. I think people play that up more than it is. So we'll see, but maybe a suitor will come in offering more money. Who knows? But my bold prediction is AEW gets a new TV deal, but loses a show.
I almost went with that as well.
I think Rampage is going to go away.
That's the one on the chopping block.
I think AEW doesn't need to be spending the money on it. And I think you don't need to be spending the time. I think I think even if you want to keep that time slot, I think I would go something more of like a primetime wrestling or something like that, sort of
like a studio show,
sort of whatever that people can easily watch later and catch everybody up, kind of thing. I think they get a new TV deal. It could be anywhere. I don't know, but I think at least Rampage is not a part of that deal.
Okay.
My other bold prediction is that sometime in 2024, Tony Khan announces that he is creating or expanding the booking/writing committee. I think he's gonna give up a little bit of the reign. I think he's finally gonna get a little too overwhelmed, and somebody's gonna have enough of his ear. Very potentially Danielson after he retires. And it may not be like a committee necessarily, like a WWE like writing team kind of thing, but it could just be like this guy's booking this show or this guy's booking these whatever. But I think Tony Khan's going to finally sort of concede and get some help.
Okay.
And in the sort of idea of a writing staff or booking committee.
I think that's a good idea.
I think it's a great idea. I think he needs to fucking do it.
Yeah.
I just think he needs a bit of an editor. Some people tell him when he's doing stupid shit and when stuff can end and you don't have to let shit drag on and whatnot. And they've already sort of hinted at prepping Danielson to do that.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think if part of that, I think it happens. I think he announces it before Dragon retires. Is officially done. But yeah, I just think he needs help, and I think he's going to talk about that. So
I like that.
So that's my prediction. Pain.
So your prediction's not AEW's going out of business?
No, I'm not again. I'm not. I said that like as a wild prediction, and then everybody fucking thought it was like obviously not for me, but like everybody really ran with that one. I think they'll be okay.
So Ed's bold prediction.
I did read Joe's. That's fucking wild. We'll get there.
So Ed's bold prediction. Soon to be named network meetup at Colossal Con East 2024.
Okay.
Ed, I would love that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to have a mini meetup, so this is the test drive. You got to treat us right, Ed.
That's true. Yeah. This is
it'll be good to us.
This is the test drive. We'll try before you buy, okay? You got to drink the milk before you can have the cow.
That's right.
By the cow, I mean, I don't know.
We'll figure that out. It gets awful lonely on the road in hotel room Philadelphia.
Oh, boy.
My boy.
My boy. So this one made me laugh real hard.
Okay.
Silverthorne bold prediction. Ric Flair dies on live television.
I did think about predicting a wrestler death. I was like, this is the year Jake finally catches up to him, but no, that's...
So I said to Silverthorne...
While sipping a woo energy.
I said, Ric Flair dies on TV, crush me. And they responded, it's an actual fear I have. So thank you, Ed. Thank you, Silverthorne.
Yes,
you guys,
for everything.
The best.
Yeah.
Dwicky's bold prediction. LA Knight will end up on Raw and will win the World Heavyweight Championship, a.k.a. the Seth belt.
That's the Seth belt? Okay. Yeah. What's the other one? Universal still?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he ain't going to win it off Roman.
No.
It's sad, but I feel like that's sailed.
Right.
You know, they had their match and that was it.
Yeah. He's not saying he wins it off of Seth, right? Because CM Punk's
just winning the
Seth.
belt.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe LA
Knight beats Punk.
LA Knight beats Punk and
what a
Joe Sposto was sentenced to heaven.
Right, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
That's we find Joe Sposto in a closet with just a smile on his face.
Oh, jeez.
Going out in a happy way.
Oh boy.
Could not be happier.
That'll be his end of wrestling.
Right.
The 1, 2, 3, LA Knight raises the belt, Joe shuts the TV off, kicks back. He just kind of goes, you know what? I think things are all right.
I think we're good.
I think we're good.
I think it's about time I find a new hobby.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm good.
Just Phil vanquished LA Knight's boot on his chest. Just Yaz ring out. Yeah,
you know, they were
in Chicago.
They were talking last week about add-ons, and Joe said, "I'm not a tattoo guy. That sold about 24 years ago." I know what he get a whole back piece of LA Knight's boot on Phil's chest.
Absolutely.
So Tim's bold prediction:
Joe packs up the family and moves to Hagertown. We never hear from him ever again. It's like the end of fucking Stand By Me, where they all fade. We never heard from him again. I don't know what happened.
That's amazing.
Rumors of a hairy madman running through the streets of Hagerstown, rambling to himself about some guy named Phil.
Just sitting on the park bench, just screaming Phil over and over. So Tim, and again, thank you, Joe. Love you. You're the best. Tim's bold prediction: AEW will be in search of a new TV home.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the hot talk. Yeah. So we'll see.
I'm pretty, I don't know shit about shit, but I'm pretty confident that Warner's is going to keep him around. I don't think Warner's is actually going to be in the talks for WWE.
Yeah. So
we'll see.
Tim, we'll see you Saturday, pal.
If you're lucky.
So Joe's
doors might be locked.
Joe's got a few.
Oh, Jesus. I saw one of them.
Phil doesn't make it to the end of 2024 in WWE.
Joe, this is a bold prediction, buddy.
Backstage incident, HR issue.
Yeah, this is a bold prediction, not obvious prediction.
No more WWE cast-offs hired by AEW.
I think that's good. Not going to happen because we'll get McIntyre.
This is probably the one where your head spun.
Yeah.
TNA actually becomes the number 2 promotion ahead of AEW.
What a polar opposite to your CM Punk prediction.
Can you imagine?
Fucking madman.
Oh.
They're trying.
They're trying.
They're spending that money. They lost out on Ospreay. They lost out on Ospreay. They lost out on Punk.
And Ospreay's still going to work that show, and Okada's working that show.
Yep.
So, and Vince dies.
Oh, I mean, it's very possible.
Him over in Saudi, he ain't looking too good.
Yeah,
he was walking with that cane.
Oh, yeah, with the cane there. That was in Saudi.
He looked bad.
It's possible. He's an old man.
Yeah.
He's an old man who was on that chicken and rice diet for a long before. Chicken and rice wasn't as pure chicken and rice in McMahon's day when he started on it as it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you, Joe. Appreciate you as always.
Yes.
And then for Marcus, his bold prediction: Fox goes all in with wrestling by landing AEW TV rights deal.
So you know what I was thinking is that FX wouldn't be a bad spot for one of their shows.
Yeah.
And I know that they're looking for different content and
Yeah, they're changing it up.
They're changing it up a little bit, and wrestling is cheap. Like imagine
like a Dynamite on Fox and then Collision on FX.
Right.
Makes sense.
Sports would be a bigger issue, but they just move it to FS1.
Yeah.
You could get it. You can get a good wrestling show.
SmackDown gets preempted to FS1, you know?
Like, and you can get it for cheaper than you paid for SmackDown.
Yeah.
Fox doesn't want to pay that much money again.
No.
But it's more homes for AEW. I mean, that could work. I could see that.
Yeah.
With Collision on FX or on FS1 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's in a lot of homes. Fox owns a lot of fucking things. Well, the people who own Fox own a lot of things.
A lot of shit.
Well, doesn't Warner own?
No, I don't.
Somebody bought Fox.
I know we tried breaking it down the one night. I don't know all that shit. So yeah, I mean that's the year end of 2023.
Yeah.
Great year, another great year of doing the show with you.
Well, thanks, buddy.
It's I look forward to it every week. I really do. And yeah, man, what a great year for wrestling. That's for sure. Mm-hmm. Did you buy anything this week?
Did I buy anything this week? We went to IKEA today and I bought a bunch of shit, but nothing that exciting. So no.
I didn't buy anything either. So class will seg. Okay. So all right. I mean, I don't have anything left. Do you have anything left?
That's all I got, man. There's a long ass show. It's our year ender. It's what we do. Thanks for listening.
Yes, thank you all.
Brett said it, and of course I stonewalled you there. But yeah, I love doing this show.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to do it with anybody else. I mean, maybe like one other person. Definitely not Tim. He brought it on himself. Feel my wrath.
Feel my ubiquity.
This is great. You know, this is what we do. It's crazy. We've been doing it for 4 years.
Yeah.
And it's
4 years and I've only missed 2 shows.
You missed 2 shows?
Yeah, when I had surgery.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's it.
But I'm excited for the Royal Rumbler coming up. I'm excited for next week.
Even when I had COVID, I did the show.
It's true.
It was a couple days late.
It was.
We did it.
Yeah, so we'll, thanks everybody for listening. It means the world that people listen.
Oh, yeah.
You and I sort of, giggle at, like, people watching on YouTube, and all that sort of stuff.
Anytime I can, like, see the email and be like, from YouTube, new comment, I'm like, that's fun.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
I have a lot of fun doing that, like, putting it up. The Terry Funk moments of the week have been really cool that we started this year.
Yeah.
They've been getting a ton of views and driving some views to the show. But the homies, the guys who have been with us, the guys, everybody just been together and listening and participating. I love so many people emailed today.
Yeah.
It's all about sort of expanding and getting better at what we do and figuring shit out from here on. So, we're not going anywhere. It's been a fucking blast. So thanks everybody for listening.
Fuck yeah.
Thanks for listening this week. Thanks for listening every week. Thanks for this year and last year and all the years. We'll see if the bold predictions come true. We start.
I'm saving it in my notes.
Yeah, I'm going to try.
Yeah.
And then, next year we see, what wrestling has cooked up for us. 'Cause it's a pretty good year, but, this was a light New Japan year in this, in all these talks here. Weird year for them.
Yeah, weird year. Circumstances, losing Switchblade, losing Ospreay.
Sure.
But Ospreay also,
right. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for listening, everybody. We're going to get out of here. This has been We Need Wrestling. You can find us online at WeNeedWrestling.com, at We Need Wrestling on social media. You want to email us with any year-end lists, we'll read them again. If you didn't get around to it.
Yeah. Any edits you want to make.
Right. Bold predictions, anything like that. You want to change your opinion to our opinion, I will not blame you. So you email the show WeNeedWrestling@gmail.com. All the social medias, YouTube, you can find us on there. And maybe, who knows, maybe next year this will become a video podcast. We'll set up some cameras. Everyone can see our fucking beautiful faces.
Stare at us. See what band or horror shirt we're wearing this week.
Exactly. I got complimented at the rest stop today on my shirt.
Did you?
Yeah, by a lady.
With the lady.
With the lady.
Ooh, with the lady.
We're a proud member of the Soon to Be Named Network. We couldn't do a lot of what we do without them and the people adjacent.
Big fact.
The best 6-man coming off the bench in DeWiki. So check out Soon to Be Named Network at STBN Network on Twitter and Instagram. SoonToBeNamedNetwork.com, SoonToBeNamedNetwork.tumblr.com. Longbox Heroes After Dark. Most of the people you heard have shows on the Soon to Be Named Network. Final Wrestling Place. Go back and listen to old episodes of Hit My Music. Hayabusa. Puzzle Warriors 3. Profane Argument. Our other show, Wings on Wings, which is on a 2-week hiatus. So.
It's the holidays.
It is the holidays. And Longbox Heroes, I say that.
Yep.
Odd Odds with Wrestling, all that shit. They're all great. They all support us and we support them. And we're all excited. A lot of people up here for World's End this weekend. So watch out for our list to be amended next week.
Just in case.
Depending on what happens on World's End. But otherwise, check all those people out. We'll be back next week with what ends up usually being our biggest show of the year. So this one
if you
and
thought
that
this
one
was long,
right? Strap in.
Strap the fuck in, boy.
You're listening to the soon-to-be-named network, the Lamborghini of podcast networks.
Knock it off, nerds!